Supporters here in California said they're pleased with the president's work so far and aren't afraid to say that publicly.
Fox's Will Carr, yet another presidential tweet caused controversy over the weekend, targeting CNN in a video.
It shows him tackling a man with the network's logo edited over his face. The clip from an old WWE appearance of President Trump pretending to fight a pro wrestler. CNN slamming the video, accusing the president of threatening journalists, saying, quote, "It is a sad day when the president of the United States encourages violence against reporters."
Fox's Marianne Rafferty, the White House defends the president's use of Twitter, fighting back at unfair treatment in the media. Congress is on break, but Republicans continue to discuss how to repeal Obamacare in the Senate.
The White House Legislative Director Mark Short says President Trump has been working the phones over the holiday weekend to get the Senate's health care bill across the finish line.
Fox's Griff Jenkins, one option to split the plan into two bills, first repealing Obamacare, then later replacing it.
But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has dismissed the option so far as he and GOP leadership try to overcome the lack of support. At the end of the week, there were 9 Republicans opposing the bill, with 3 more that are voicing concerns. The goal now is to pass something by the August recess, but already 10 Republican senators have written Mitch McConnell to cancel the August recess if they can't find agreement.
That's Fox News, fair and balanced.
In Chicago, mostly cloudy and 68 degrees. North winds at 4 miles an hour and a very humid start to the day with humidities at 88% this morning. I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. An investigation is underway following a plane crash over the weekend in Price County, Wisconsin, that killed 6. Authorities say a small Cessna went down Saturday near Phillips. The aircraft had left from Waukegan and was heading to Canada on a fishing trip. 2 of the victims were identified Sunday as Thomas DeMoro and Charles Tomlitz, elementary school employees from Bensonville. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, citing Facebook postings at Tioga Elementary, say DeMoro led physical education, while Tomlitz was a maintenance director for the district. The NTSB also saying late yesterday there was discussions between the pilot of that plane and air traffic controllers about a local weather phenomenon. Soon afterward, the aircraft dropped off radar. Chicago police are dealing with another violent 4th of July weekend. 49 shot across the city by late last night. 4 of those victims have died. Family of a Chicago man killed in a police shooting over the weekend on the west side is looking for answers. Authorities say Quintek Locke was shot by an officer Saturday night during an armed confrontation near Costner and Cermak. An AK-47 type weapon and a handgun were recovered at the scene, according to police. Locke's family wants body camera footage released sooner than the 60-day deadline. Illinois lawmakers say they're going back to work after a vote in the House Sunday to increase income taxes by 32%. Attention does turn to the Senate later today as the budget measures the House rammed through and endorsed moved to that chamber for approval. The legislation increases the personal income tax rate in the state to just under 5%. Corporations would pay 7% instead of 5.25%. Republican Governor Bruce Rauner promises a veto. Also moving to the Senate is a $36 billion spending plan that the House okayed Sunday. It's $1 billion less than the spending outlined. The Senate passed in May, but has no caps. Protesters in Chicago continue to express their displeasure with the president, dozens gathering at Federal Plaza to call for a Trump impeachment. Demonstrators citing their own concerns over immigration and the president's so-called conflict of interest. 4 are hospitalized after a fire on Chicago's near north side. Authorities say the blaze began yesterday morning inside an apartment building near Oak and Orleans. 2 of the victims were critically hurt. A website hosted an Abduction 101 forum linked to a 28-year-old suspect in the kidnapping of a Chinese scholar at the University of Illinois. And that website is billing itself as a popular fetish networking site on the internet. And it's faced major pressure in recent months to be clear about not tolerating behavior that could be regarded as criminal. Brent Christensen, who earned a master's degree in physics from the U of I earlier this year, is now charged in the June 9 abduction of 26-year-old Ying Zhang, who investigators believe to be dead. Federal complaint says Christensen's phone was used on April 19 to visit that website. Christensen this morning remains jailed. He'll make an initial appearance today in federal court in Urbana. Cubs avoid a 3-game sweep with a 6-2 win over the Reds in Cincinnati. Ian Happ homered twice and knocked in 4. Yolmer Sanchez's 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th gave the White Sox a 6-5 win over the Rangers. Cubs closer Wade Davis, Sox outfielder Avisail Garcia going to the All-Star game. Danielle Kang birdied the final hole to win the Women's PGA Championship at the Olympia Fields Country Club. Kang, by the way, becoming just the 8th player in history whose first victory as a pro came in a major. The news, a service of Cabela's. Celebrate the 4th with huge savings during Cabela's 4th of July sale. Take 50% off Quantum Solo Spinning and Casting Rod and Reel combos. Cabela's Deluxe Flotation Vest starting at $749, plus 50% off Caravan Slant Leg Canopies. 5:06 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The temperature this summer is on the rise, and everyone is talking about one person, President Donald Trump. As controversy swirls around his presidency and the Democrats and the mainstream media take aim, what will happen next? Join AM 560's Joe Walsh for the Summer of Trump, Tuesday, August 22nd at the Bolingbrook Golf Club, also featuring Hugh Hewitt and Guy Benson. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/summer. That's 560theanswer.com/summer.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
5:08. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. And in for Jim Talamonte this week, here's Dominic Fortini.
Good morning. Things looking okay so far across most of our Chicago area roadways. Looks like we're expecting a lighter than usual traffic volume with a shorter holiday week. Edens and Kennedy are quiet. 20 minutes on the inbound Kennedy O'Hare into downtown, 10 in from the junction. Eisenhower 29 minutes, Thorndale into the post office, 16 in from Manheim. Traveling along with Stevenson, you're going to roll incident-free in between 355 and the Drive. That's 34 minutes, 24 in from the Tri-State. Outbound Ryan, 15 minutes out to 95th from the downtown area. I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive, and the tollways remain quiet this morning. Traffic's a service of NTB. Right now at NTB, don't miss the 5 days of the 4th event. 5 days of savings going on now through the 4th of July for oil, service, repairs, and low prices on top tire brands. Visit your neighborhood NTB. That's all you need. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935 with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, partly sunny, high 80. Tonight, mainly clear, low 62. Tomorrow, more clouds than sun, high 84. And a mostly cloudy night, low 65. Showers and a thunderstorm Wednesday, high 86. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
67 at O'Hare, 65 along the lakefront, 71 this morning, officially at Midway. And your water temp at Wilmette Harbor this morning, 66 degrees. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella. Heard each and every Sunday at 8 a.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. All right, I don't want to turn this into a technical workshop here already, but when I have my red mic on button here, there's no light on it.
Here we go.
To tell when it's on.
Like watching them pull into the parking lot.
Exactly.
Come on, Mr. Magoo. We got a show to do.
That's right. It's our Independence Day special.
Independence Day special. We're not filling in, Bruce.
No.
They hired us special.
Yeah. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson.
That's right, baby.
Previously known as Sean from Elmwood Park, but you're
still known.
No. You're a host now.
Well, you are the
and
radio
I am the
and
parasite.
TV legend.
Yeah, that's according to my Twitter handle.
I'll go with it.
Yeah. And for Dan and Amy, I can't believe Dan isn't working today because yesterday the legislature, I follow him on Twitter, and I will do my best to
everybody does
stand on the shoulders of giants and just plagiarize what he said on Twitter. But
it's the smart play.
Yeah, because yesterday the legislature passed this tax hike. There are no commensurate reforms. I know that Rauner wanted, and I do, a permanent property tax freeze. Where's that? Where's the pension reform? Where's anything?
God, I got so many problems with that entire dissertation you just gave. What do you mean tax freeze? Let's start there, because that's the big talking point that the
property tax
feckless
freeze?
governor wants us to believe is some sort of a win. See, the problem I have with Rauner is that it's his entire persona is a fraud. What do you mean tax freeze?
Well, I know there's a lot of holes
Here's the deal.
in the property tax.
No. I am to pay taxes on the ad valorem value of my land. That's the deal that government has with me.
You're speaking Latin 2 minutes into the show?
Oh,
what does ad valorem mean?
The value.
Oh, okay.
It's the value of the land.
Res
That's how you tax me.
Let's just do Latin the whole
Come
day.
on, you're an attorney. Don't play dumb with me.
But I wasn't a real estate attorney.
All right, they're a special breed. But the reality is that's the greatest fear of all politicians, is that they live up to their end of the deal. Not just on spending, not just on representation, but on the money they seize from us.
So you're saying that with Rauner's property tax freeze was illusory, even though he's not even getting that.
Are you going to freeze it? Now, let's use my father-in-law, because everyone's more sympathetic to the elderly, right?
Exactly.
He's a wonder.
Which is why you work with me.
Union guy, Democrat. Yeah. So let's use him, because this way we get the sympathy of the Illinoisans.
Sure.
He's nearly 80 years old. His property taxes just went up $1,300 a year. Mm-hmm. So are we going to freeze him at that level? Or are we going to freeze him where it was before? Because in the same time, his home value went down.
Right.
Just like yours, just like mine, just like everyone listening who owns a home. So your home value goes down, yet your taxes go up.
Doesn't he know Joe Barrios? Can he get a variance?
So we are. Well, that's the other thing.
Exemption.
See, Bruce Rauner wants to protect the corrupt system we have. He likes it. That's where they make their money. That's where the thievery lies.
So you are to the right of Bruce Rauner, who's considered the Antichrist.
I got news for you. Madigan's to the right of Bruce Rauner.
What are you talking about?
Madigan just has fundamentals. He likes the scam.
Bruce Rauner just said that he's going to veto. You're saying this is just kabuki theater, that Bruce Rauner is going to veto this package that was sent up by a lot of Republicans. 15 Republicans voted for this as well yesterday.
And that's
House.
Who needs to be thrown out. The 15 Republicans and every single Republican fraud that voted for this needs to be thrown out. Because we have one consistent problem in Illinois. And that is the guy who says he's on your team is a traitor versus the guy who is the opponent to your beliefs.
Look, Aristotle said that politics is the art of the possible. So I take a more benign view of Rauner, even though I'd want him to go even further than he has. No. But this is you can only do so much with what you're given.
I want Dan Proft to primary Bruce Rauner, and I want him to announce it now. Bruce Rauner has done nothing. He's running the same exact campaign he ran that got him elected. I'm going to be the different. He did nothing. You've been the governor.
What do you mean? He stonewalled the Democrats for 2.5 years.
Are the Democrats
and lost the fight?
And are the Democrats going to get what they want now in the end? Of course they are. This is a kabuki theater. You named it the best.
Let's let Illinois go down the drain. Dan and I did a show once when Brad Thor, the author.
Oh, yes, love him.
Brad.
Smart enough to move.
The day he moved, we actually were on the air with him while he was in his car. He was actually exiting this. Okay, I try to do this show for the benefit of, those of the citizens who are up right now and are listening. It's not about whether you heard it or not.
The people who are up right now are the hard-working truck drivers and the absolute drunks.
Who are going to be replaced by driverless cars.
Thank God.
I'm worried. What do you mean, thank God?
Thank God.
You just alienated all the truckers.
No, I like the truckers, but you want to know why I want it automated? Now who can we tax? I feel bad for the truckers. I'm sticking up for the truckers.
I feel bad
These
for them,
son of a guns pay on average $20,000 a year in just over-the-road taxes, yet they're demonized at every turn. They're limited on how much they could work. You know what I say? Give everybody what they want. Automate it all. Now who are you going to tax? Tax the computer. Go ahead, tax it. It's giving me bad news. So, anything to show...
But they're all going to be on opioids and on disability and all that, and then where are we? And, if you can't work for a living, trust me, I know what it's like not to work for a living.
If it's one thing me and your wife know, you can fake it, baby. So you fake that opioid problem, you get yourself a check.
If you can't work for a living, you have no meaning to life.
Versus working for a living in futility in Illinois, as they raise your taxes arbitrarily on their spending. This is my thing with Bruce Rauner. What have you done to curb spending? Have you saved me $1 since you've been governor?
What is he supposed to do?
You're the governor. You're not a victim.
Don't use a duct tape campaign on Susan Mendoza or whatever it was, that campaign that he had, that ad campaign.
I'd like to
talk about property taxes. I get it.
You want to know what I want to know,
What are you
going
to do when you're stymied by the legislature?
Who are these 15 caballeros? Anderson, Bryant, Cavallaro, David
Sounds
Meyer,
like the
Faulkner.
Cubs infield that didn't get
know.
into the All-Star game.
Let's start with our own traders. Yeah. I want to know every dollar that everybody ever gave these guys. I want a full forensic audit of their campaign. That's what I want to know. Let's start there. Because you know what? This pretend fight that Illinois has, that every single time you're really at the mattresses, the Leviathan wins, government wins, it pays a lot.
Is there a mattress sale today? I wonder.
There has
Is there
to be.
a July
Independence
4th?
Day.
Yeah, I'm thinking. So we'll continue our Independence Day mattress special after.
That's what you bring to the table. You're looking at the clock. You know when the breaks are. I know none of this.
I'm like Mussolini.
There you go.
I make the show run on time.
Nice.
Which is about all I can ask for. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson, nee Sean from Elmwood Park, in for Dan and Amy on an Independence Day special.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
And I get to do the weather today. Today is partly sunny with a high of 80. Tonight, mainly clear, low 62. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, more clouds than sun. See, you got to make it bigger. The font bigger. More clouds than sun, high 84. Tomorrow night, a low of 65. Wednesday, this is the day when you got to not wash your car. It rains a little bit, showers and thunderstorms, high 86, then back down to 68. It's going to be like that the entire week. Now we get to go to my traffic guy, who's going to tell you where the morons can't make a left. Dominic Fortini, who I really like.
Not many folks out on the roadways starting their week off. Edens and Kennedy remain quiet. 20 minutes on the inbound Kennedy O'Hare to downtown. 10 and from the Junction Express lanes pointed outbound and in good shape. Eisenhower, 29 minutes from Thorndale in. Stevenson rolling at 34 minutes in between 355 and the Drive. Inbound Ryan quiet between 95th and the Skyway. Overall, 95th and a downtown at 15 minutes. I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive all remain incident-free, as do our Illinois tollways. Not many folks out early on this morning. Next traffic update in about 15 minutes on AM 560. The Answer.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
I hate cleaning my gutters. I kept hearing ads for that gutter guard system, so I thought, why not? I'll get an estimate. I was shocked. I never thought gutter guards could cost so much. Then I heard about Spring Rock gutter guards. The estimate is free, so it made sense to at least compare them. I was shocked again by how much money they saved me. I'm talking thousands, like enough to take my family to Disney World. They take a different approach to gutter protection. A completely closed design keeps all types of debris out of your gutters. Sure, those higher-priced systems may keep the leaves out, but Spring Rock gets the job done at up to half the price with no compromise on quality. Spring Rock also comes with the same lifetime warranty. If the gutter system ever clogs, they will clean it out for free, no questions asked. Same result for less money. That's smart. There's more than one option when it comes to gutter guards. Compare today and save at springrockgutters.com or call 708-571-0632. Special financing is available. Drain your gutters, not your wallet.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
And Mike Gallagher, a little correction here. It's Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on an Independence Day special. Dan and Amy are off today. I think, they're recovering from the legislature's vote yesterday and with smelling salts and...
it's normally me that's chewing on my steering wheel listening to bad news. Now it's Proft. I love it.
We've got a caller, Ed from Oakbrook, but in keeping with a theme of the Bruce and Sean show, and by the way, my name is first only because I'm an elderly Chicago TV radio legend. We tried this last time where you would actually start to argue with the caller before the caller actually got a chance to talk, which I believe is a wonderful preemptive strike.
Only callers who come at me with talking points like this one. Okay. This is an absolute talking point.
So before we talk to Ed from Oakbrook, why don't you argue against him?
There is no evidence that Bruce Rauner has stopped any taxation at all. In fact, his first offer in the negotiations was a tax increase. But Ed's going to hit me with a Republican talking point right before he makes his check out to the GOP. Go ahead, baby.
Hey, Ed, how you doing?
Very good. And, Sean, you're almost correct. And the problem is with your thing is, he might not have stopped some income tax increases, but I tell you what, he probably stopped a lot of extra fees that would be tapped on.
Extra fees?
I mean, come on, Ed. You're arguing in the abstract.
Talk about Mussolini making the trains run on time, Ed. Come on. I'd hang up on you if we had another caller right now, but go ahead.
Don't hang up on me. The only solution is for this state to file bankruptcy, and you know it.
You can't file bankruptcy. It's not legal. But how about a de facto bankruptcy? We actually have de facto.
You're interrupting the guy. I'm the guy that's always accused.
What's the matter with me, Sean?
Yeah, why can't they file bankruptcy?
It's illegal.
Thing, but that's what the only way you're going to get out of this mess, Sean, and you're a businessman, and Bruce knows enough to know this. You cannot tax us anymore. Well, you can.
Nice left-handed compliment from Ed to me. Ed, here's the problem.
Are leaving the state.
Ed, you're arguing with you're preaching to the choir. Here's the thing, Ed. You basically have a de facto bankruptcy already. There's so many court-ordered payments that are already being made.
Well, this is why you lost your five cases.
But your pension liability is killing everybody.
Tell me about it.
Those people took advantage of this whole freaking mess, and you know that.
Of course.
You know what? To see the smile on their face when they only give 60% of their overpaid pensions, you know what? That would make the rest of my miserable life. But I tell you right now,
I love this guy.
You look at the city of Chicago. How much more can you tax pop now?
Ed, here's the thing.
Here's the thing, Ed. Here's the thing about taxing the pop. Oh, I'm interrupting Sean, interrupting
Ed.
You're
interrupting both of us.
Let me just tell you something, Sean, here. Oh. And by the way, you notice I start talking like you? Like I'm from Melrose Park?
Listen.
All right, here's the thing, Ed.
Problem is at some point you're going to have to back that up.
I can't. You know that. You felt my biceps before it came.
I don't know if they're called biceps.
All right, here's the thing. You know that soda pop tax? Think about this.
Yeah.
If we go bankrupt and we can't afford to be in the lottery anymore, and I don't know if this income tax hike actually puts us back in the Powerball, poor people won't be able to buy lottery tickets, so they'll be able to afford the soda pop tax, which they're exempt from, according to Tony Preckwinkle's formula, even though the soda pop tax is supposed to help them stop being obese poor people.
Can I talk
Thank
now?
you, Ed.
Can I talk now?
Yeah.
Oh,
go ahead.
Word, I'm exhausted.
We got to take a break.
No,
go
go
ahead.
figure.
No,
Me
go
or
ahead.
I'm looking for gills on your neck. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We can't file. This is a talking point. This is a fraud argument. File bankruptcy, and all of a sudden we think we're going to be able to reorganize like a business. This is what fraud Republican politicians sell us. You can never file bankruptcy because, as what they're proving right now, they have the constant power of taxation. Okay, so that's a fairy tale that where we think we got a hope where this guy's going to somehow save the day and we're not going to have to pay that. That's not the issue. But what you can do is starve the beast by restricting the spending. You can always do that. Yet none of these fraud 15 Republicans, buffoons, each and every one of them, none of them did anything significant to curb the spending. Only Jeannie Ives, Skillicorn, and a handful of other ones.
This is a theoretical argument because you can't file bankruptcy, although I think you're going to have a de facto one. But here's the thing. If you were able to do that, the unions would have to take a haircut.
Now, here's another guy. Can we argue with this guy?
Let's argue with
Businesses
Robert
aren't
from
paying
Oak
enough
Brook.
taxes.
Yeah.
Businesses, how many times are you going to tax them? The businesses pay the tax. The guys who make up the business pay the tax. There's import taxes. There's production taxes. There's the taxes you pay your employees. But Robert wants to tax them more. All right, Big Bob, let's see what you got.
Yeah, okay, Robert, argue with that.
Then explain this to me. Why do certain companies, such as WeatherTech, get a huge real estate tax break because David built his factory here in Illinois, but he's from Illinois. I went to school with David all through grade school, and his company made $12 billion last year.
Okay, so you're talking about your envy of a guy who's wealthy.
No, here's the other thing.
No. We're friends, and I'm not envy. I live in Oak Brook in a very nice home on 2 acres of property. I'm not envying at all.
Listen,
my point is why do certain companies, certain corporations not get taxed?
So I like this question.
You got to compete with other states.
No. Can I answer it? You handle the legalese stuff.
Good question, Robert. Thank you. Appreciate it.
The reality is he's getting a break on where things, number one, where things should be. Your argument shouldn't be with the WeatherTech guy getting the break. Your argument should be with all those who don't get the break. See, that's what government wants.
Well,
the
they can't
Fabian
give everybody
socialism.
a break. I mean,
put the bands of restraint on everyone, then lift it off who you want. That's the problem.
Well, we have to compete with other states, and that's why we give tax breaks.
You compete through freedom, like Florida, where I sell real estate.
Right.
Let's compete. How are you going to compete with that? They're tax-free. You want to open a business, take you 25 seconds and $200. You could file anything you want, and they help you. Versus Illinois, which is a punitive state. Go ahead. You want to go to commercial? Go ahead.
That's what I'm a traffic cop here. Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
First you interrupt me, then you cut me
it's
off.
a traffic. I'm a traffic cop.
I need Mike Scott to come out and headbutt you.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on an Independence Day special, or tomorrow's Independence Day. But
this is the special.
This is the special.
Stick with my spin, will you please?
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
If you did not purchase health insurance coverage during the 2017 open enrollment, I can help you purchase a PPO health insurance plan at any time during the year. This is Tom Marabali, your health insurance advocate and independent producer for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other health insurance carriers. If you are between the ages of 19 and 64, you are automatically paying for maternity coverage whether you want the coverage or not. If you are a non-smoking 50-year-old male or female living in the city of Chicago, the monthly premium rate for a 100% tax-deductible health savings account PPO plan would be $590 per month. But I can show you how to eliminate the mandatory maternity benefit and lower your monthly premiums down to approximately $240 per month. To see if you qualify or for more information, call me, Tom Marabali, at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on an Independence Day special. Coming up after the break, more moaning and wailing. We got to talk about Donald Trump as well and his tweets. And
really?
How funny that World Wrestling Federation thing was that he did yesterday. But now let's go to the newsroom with Mike Scott. Good morning, Mike.
Bruce and Sean, good morning. Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. And here are the stories we're following at this hour. The White House says China and Japan are still backing a denuclearized Korean peninsula. President Trump speaking with Chinese President Xi Jinping and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe by phone late last night. Some Republicans are weighing in after President Trump's Twitter rampage against a major news outlet. Senator Mike Lee of Utah telling CBS's Face the Nation, "We must admit the president is a unique man."
The President of the United States is a unique man. He campaigned on a very aggressive platform that involved draining the swamp.
Lee describes Trump's method of governing as one that will definitely differ from many of his predecessors. Meantime, Senator Rand Paul wants Obamacare repealed but not replaced. The Kentucky Republican telling Fox News Sunday he's all for a repeal vote, but seems unlikely to back a replace effort in its existing form. Another GOP senator is joining Paul in a repeal of Obamacare, Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska.
Every Republican senator except one, Susan Collins of Maine, is the only Republican senator who hasn't already repeatedly explained that they're for repeal and for replace and voted for repeal.
Sasse says his proposal will be moving forward if the GOP fails to move a repeal and replace bill in the coming days. A repeal vote should take place. 31 are injured, 17 unaccounted for, feared dead after a tour bus hits a truck and bursts into flames in the German state of Bavaria. Laptops are now okay on flights coming into the U.S. from Abu Dhabi. Officials announcing that Abu Dhabi International in the UAE and Etihad Airways based there are in compliance with new security standards. An investigation is underway following a plane crash over the weekend in Price County, Wisconsin, that killed 6, including 2 Bensonville Elementary School employees. Chicago police dealing with another violent 4th of July weekend start. 49 shot across the city. 4 of those victims have died. And the Indiana Supreme Court is set to begin hearing arguments on who owns the land in that state adjacent to Lake Michigan. There is a claim on land by homeowners who say their land extends to the water's edge, meaning no one can access the beach by their home without permission. Now, the state says it owns lands in a trust for all residents in Indiana up to the ordinary high water mark. Indiana Solicitor General Thomas Fisher says the state was granted the land at statehood in 1816. The court will likely decide that matter after hearing arguments this year, again a decision in 2018. Cubs avoid a 3-game sweep with a 6-2 win over the Reds. White Sox 6-5 winners over the Rangers in Chicago. Daniel Kang, your winner at the LPGA Championships at the Olympia Fields Country Club. The news, a service of Ace. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. Stop by your neighborhood Ace today for everything you need for your painting project, like the best paint Valspar Optimus and the all high-quality sundries you need to get the job done right. Only at Ace, the helpful place. 535, And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher sees momentum still on the side of President Trump.
I was encouraging you to go out and vote on Georgia's 6th, but something else happened yesterday. There's something that I think is a little bit unanticipated. This has been a huge game changer for President Trump. Momentum is important. He has had a lot of wins at his face. Suddenly, he's got some wind at his back.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Right now with Galaxy. Buy one cabinet, get one free. Visit us online at galaxyhome.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Save an additional $500 when you book right now.
Hey, would you buy a house without looking inside? Well, of course not. Shouldn't you be just as diligent when choosing a financial advisor? Hey, it's Sean Hannity here, and just as a house is more than four walls, well, a financial advisor is more than just a nice office. What's their background? Do they work in your best interest as a fiduciary? What's their financial specialty? You want to know all these things because the chances are over your lifetime, you're going to trust them with far more than the value of your home because knowledge and experience count for a lot in retirement income planning. Here in Chicago, you need to know Anthony and Michael Pellegrino and their team at Goldstone Financial Group. Call them now, 800-620-9697. That's 800-620-9697. Don't be cavalier with what you have spent a lifetime building. Call Goldstone Financial Group, 800-620-9697.
Investment advisory services offered through Goldstone Financial Group, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
536. Let's get an update on the roads and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
Well, those roads pretty quiet this morning. Not many folks out and about as of yet, but we do have authorities working a crash along the southwest side. Pulaski at 41st. Closer to home, Edens and Kennedy remain pretty quiet. 20 minutes on the inbound side of the Kennedy O'Hare into downtown. Also the same on the flip trip. If you're traveling outbound, downtown out to O'Hare, express lanes are pointed outbound still. Inbound side of the Eisenhower, 29 minutes. Thorndale into the post office. Outbound side of the Stevenson, 34 minutes between Lakeshore Drive and 355. Ryan at 15 minutes in between 95th and downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford and Lakeshore looking good. And no problems along the tri-state early on today. Traffic's a service of the Burger King Lucky Charms Shake. The new Lucky Charms Shake at Burger King with all the flavors of Lucky Charms cereal. Magical marshmallow pieces and oat cereal mixed into vanilla, soft serve, and sweet syrup. Try it at Burger King restaurants for a limited time, or try the Fruit Loop Shake, limited time. Participation varies. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Partly sunny. 80 for a high temp today. Clear and 62 overnight. Currently 67 at O'Hare, 65 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 6 with breaking news as it happens. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce and Sean filling in this morning for Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show, a show about the greatest financial crime in history. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560. The Answer.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on an Independence Day special in for Dan and Amy. And got a tweet here from Derek R. We were talking about truckers. I believe he's truckers talking about this, that he paid $68.22 in taxes and $8,800 to deliver his American goods on 88,000 miles last year.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about how much money this man, one guy,
in tolls.
In tolls.
Yeah.
Now let's factor in his gas tax, and let's factor in the Republican, the fat-bottomed old man that added the 10 cents per gallon that's there indefinitely. His name escapes me. Damn it! This is what I need your brain for. Come on. His son, LaHood.
Ray
tax.
LaHood.
Yeah, Ray LaHood. Yeah. The permanent tax that no
Which
one
is
ever
French
talks
for
about.
the hood.
Which is why it's great. You know, it's a shame to be Derek, who works probably 60% of his day for taxes. But it's great to be part of the toll department in Illinois.
Yeah.
These morons are driving around in brand new Fords that we're buying full dollar. They have helicopters. Let's see where we're going to get lunch is their biggest problem of the day.
You know, it used to be my favorite part of the tollway, and I love, what Rod Blagojevich did.
Which is
that
put
great
that
thing.
name above everything,
Well,
for God's
his
sakes?
name, which was so long, actually covered what is it, the Super Pass or the I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
You know that we now have. But before that, when you used to throw change into the toll booth,
Mhm.
I would just grab whatever change there was, and I'd play the toll booth game, and I'd just throw whatever change
Well,
I
you got
had.
that
and
kind of
see
money
it-
to throw
and to
around.
see, 30, 35 cents. Easy come, easy go. So Sean, we've got a bunch of TV monitors up here.
Yeah.
And every time I look up at CNN, every single time there's a headline on there, which is about Trump. Right now it says President Trump escalates war on the media. It's all self-referential. It's all about this tweet yesterday that he had where he's...
You know what, Bruce?
Well, can I just say what the tweet was in
All right,
case
but
some
get to the
people weren't
point.
following it
Go
yesterday?
ahead.
No, he tweeted him. It's video of him. He apparently was in some wrestling match years ago,
Yeah.
and they superimposed the CNN logo on a guy's face that he slams to the ground. Of course, the very sensitive, effeminate media is just is all at sixes and sevens, and
You mean Donald Trump wanted
very
to
upset about this.
Yeah, Donald Trump wanted to was involved and was a fan of and took place in an absolutely rigged fake theater.
Yeah.
Really? That's shocking.
Well, but
to
here's
me.
the thing. They had a font up there before that said President Trump attacks CNN literally. No, it wasn't literally. It was figuratively. That's the problem. He didn't really attack CNN.
I'm just
He
glad-
didn't actually punch out a CNN guy. It was, as you mentioned, it's fake wrestling. It's some theatrical thing he did before, and they are going bananas over this, how this is unpresidential. Yeah, maybe it is unpresidential, but so what?
Well, it helps me on many levels. First of all, I'm just glad it doesn't say breaking news because I am so sick of everything being breaking news. I mean, what isn't breaking news anymore? So I'm glad it doesn't say breaking news. And number two, it puts the respect that you should have for political office. I think the problem in my lifetime is that all of a sudden we were sold a bill of goods. You need help with that? The old man can't get the mechanical arm to work. But anyway, it's that we were sold a bill of goods that we must respect these offices. See, when I was a kid, you didn't call everybody honorable. There was no blind respect. These were guys that proved themselves to you. And if they did a good job, you gave them respect. But our problem as a society, respect the office. These offices are inhabited by men.
When my grandfather would go into court on some kind of violation or whatever, and he was from the old country, he'd take off his hat and he'd walk there with the hunched shoulders and he'd go to the judge. I call him Your Honor, Sir Gentleman. With the fake respect. Like the slaves in the Old South used to give to the master, the fake respect, the sarcastic respect that there really is. And this is what I love about Trump. He's actually taken away the majesty that we,
It's a job.
Exactly. And what we really need is a king and queen of the United States.
No, we
and
don't.
Barack
You know.
and Michelle Obama should be it, because nobody would touch them anyway, and we should respect them like royalty. Meanwhile, we'll have the guy who works for us. He worked for me. We could fire him. I don't know work for Donald Trump. I don't care whether
Are you making
he
fun of
talks that way.
Italians right there? Is that what you're doing?
You want to take this outside?
Oh, you
Let's just take this
Let's
outside.
go to my guy
Well,
Verlan.
while we
I
take
love
this
him.
outside, let's go to Verlan on the south side of
Verlan.
Chicago. Oh, it's Verlan.
Come on, get it
How
right.
y'all doing, brother?
Hi.
How both of y'all brothers doing? I love both of y'all, man.
Thank you.
Listen, I love what Donald Trump did when he clotheslined the CNN logo to the match. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I'll take anything over the Russian collusion mess. He changed the subject. He changed the subject, and that's why I love Trump. And another thing,
You know why he
with
did that,
him-
Verlan? You're right, because he has a sense of the dramatic, and he was actually helping CNN out because they were stuck in this rut over Russia, and he's a great programmer. So he said, hey, that's passé. Let's move on. You're totally right about that. Go ahead, Verlan.
What's up, John?
No, I listen. I like what you're saying. I get it, but the problem is we're distracted because we're brought down to this low standard. You know what I mean? Honestly, to me, it's a.
I got to cut you off.
Go ahead. Bruce has been doing it all morning. Go ahead.
You blame that on Barack Obama. When he had the beer summit with the police officer and the professor with his phony outrage, guess what? He lowered the bar. He just did it in a classy way, they say.
Verlan, you know what you're doing
Trump.
right now? You're doing the Latin thing, and we're speaking Latin this morning because Sean mentioned ad valorem before.
Yeah.
Okay. Tu quoque. You know what tu quoque means in Latin? It means you too. You're just trying to, as we say now, whataboutism. What about Obama? This is the liberal argument I'm trying to give you right now. We don't talk about Obama anymore. We talk about Trump. You agree with me or you disagree?
No. I'm sorry. I'm going to still talk about Obama.
Me too, Verlon. Go for it.
I'm going to call a spade when I...
Hey. You can do that, can't you? Because you're from the south side of Chicago. Yeah, the baddest part of town.
I slipped it in on you.
Well, we won't talk about when you slipped it in on me. Thank you, Verlon. I appreciate it. Oh, my God.
It's too early.
Oh, my God.
Now, let me argue with Mike, who used to be the city worker, who now is from the north side. He wants me to stop picking on municipal workers. In the meantime, I'll just start selling them cocoa butter for their stretch marks they get while they wait for their pensions to kick in. But you go ahead, Mike. Tell me how honorable they are.
Yeah, Mike. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Let's just look at the facts here, okay?
Sure.
I'm going into work on a day between a Sunday and a holiday, and Dan and Amy are off again. They've taken more days off and a trip to Mexico. 5:60 a.m. should stand for less work ethic than a city worker.
Now, Mike, I want to ask you a serious question. And I'm serious because you've been a city worker for decades. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, almost 3.
Now, you have... These are, like anybody else, like any other workplace, you become very dear friends with these guys. You become very dear friends with these people. And you know them intimately. Now, how many do you know intimately that agree and think like you do, and like I do, and like Dan Proft and Bruce Wolf and everybody? But when it comes time to vote, they step and fetch for whatever 50-thief alderman got him the job. How many?
What are you doing? I have to hit the delay on that because you said step and fetch.
You let me answer.
Yeah, go ahead,
There
Mike.
are 6 others that think like us, but they won't admit it in public.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So that's why I don't. That's why when I read your comment and I argue, as you know, I argue with people before they're on.
Sure.
That's why I rip government workers, because you know what I learned early on. It's that when you let people vote for their own self-interests against everyone else, they will. And you know what happens? You have Illinois, where it's now better to be a municipal worker than it is the guy who pays them. And at that point, society's over with, Mike. So that's why I show them no respect, because all they're concerned with is their promise of their pension and not my promise of my freedom.
It's the Chicago motto that Mike Royko came
You stepped
up with.
on to my freedom.
Where's mine?
Independence Day special. This is about the freedom of the sovereign citizen.
Can I thank Mike for his service? Mike, we thank you for your service.
Yeah, he pulled a hamstring getting out of the truck in
we
'84.
Appreciate
Go
it.
ahead.
He's gone right now. He's working right now. We have to work. We have to make the trains run on time and tell people about the weather. And I love the dress that you got a hand-me-down from Cheryl Scott, so that you can.
Are you making
tell
fun
us
of my
about
shirt right now? Come on, please. You look like a gym teacher in the '60s. All right.
What does that mean?
I mean, come on, spend more than $8 on a shirt for God's sake.
From Old Navy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
We have to give you a
The
proper
stories
intro.
you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
There's a difference between living and surviving, Bruce. Today, partly sunny, high 80. Tonight, mostly clear, low 62. Tomorrow, more clouds than sun, high 84. Tomorrow night, a low 65. A mirror image of today. Wednesday is when it happens. A little shower, some thunderstorms. It's going to get up to 86. Good for the curly hair. Low Wednesday night, 68. Thursday, nobody's going to know by then. They don't know. They're making it up. Let's go to Dominic Fortini. Tell me where that transgendering guy or girl in the Prius is jamming up the left lane.
So far, nowhere, but we do have a crash on the southwest side, Pulaski at 41st. Edens and Kennedy, not much happening early on this morning. Outbound Kennedy, 10 minutes downtown. DeMontrose, 28 out to O'Hare, 8 in the outbound Express. Eisenhower and Stevenson. Not many people out and about this morning getting their kick in their holiday week. Inbound side of the Ryan, 15 minutes, 95th in, I-57 Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive, as well as the rest of our Illinois tollways remain pretty sleepy. Next traffic update in about 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Call 219-931-4881 for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Did you know that if you have mutual funds in your IRA, 401k, or investment accounts, that according to Forbes magazine, you could be paying as much as 3.17% in hidden fees every single year? 3.17% may not sound like much, but over 10 years, it's costing you 32%, whether your fund is up or down. Hi, it's Tom Fortino of the Alpha Wealth Group in Chicago and host of the Alpha Wealth Hour on AM 560. This is just one of the reasons I hate mutual funds, and you should too. You may not know this, but you have far more investment options today without the excessive fees. Learn what they are in my free report, The Truth Behind Mutual Funds. What you learn may shock you. To get your free report, The Truth Behind Mutual Funds, call 630-519-4742. There's no obligation. That's 630-519-4742.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. On the occasion of America's 241st birthday, take a moment to celebrate economist Thomas Sowell's 87th. The latter complements the former. Born in the Jim Crow South in 1930, Sowell's family was without electricity or hot running water. No one in his family had gone beyond the 6th grade. Sowell graduated magna cum laude from Harvard, earned his Ph.D. in economics from the University of Chicago. He then spent the last half-century as one of the most prolific and persuasive economists advancing free minds and free markets in American history. Make some time away from the grill this holiday to peruse Sowell's Conflict of Visions primer on competing schools of political thought if you haven't. Because other than Milton Friedman, no American economist has better harnessed his intellect to make economics accessible to the everyman. An example of Sowell's succinct summaries? The first lesson of economics is scarcity. There is never enough of anything to satisfy all those who want it. The first lesson of politics is to disregard the first lesson of economics. In his farewell column at the end of 2016, Sowell wrote, "We cannot return to the past, but let us hope we can learn something from the past to make for a better present and future." The more who learn from Sowell's life's work, the better the present and the future will be for America.
Yes, indeed, summertime. Another hot one. Wait, gonna be a little bit cooler today. Back to hot, gonna be windy. Maybe a thunderstorm mixed in for good measure. Up and down and up and down. The climate is always changing. Your company's heating and cooling system really gets a workout in Chicagoland. Be ready for anything this summer. Call Air Comfort and get your business's cooling system tuned up and running at peak performance. You see, the Air Comfort problem solvers can find small problems before they become big problems. Plus, proper maintenance will keep your system from wasting energy and money. Air Comfort will make sure your equipment is clean and obstacle-free. And if your chiller is about to or has stopped working, they can install temporary solutions to keep you cool while the long-term fixes are put in place. The key to keep your climate from changing is preventative maintenance, and Air Comfort can help. Schedule a comprehensive assessment of your mechanical system today. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, providing the right climate for business since 1935.
Hey, you've heard how Automated Systems excels at assisting companies with systems integration and FDA compliance, but they're also a staffing leader. They supply handpicked elite leadership, subject matter experts, and proven technical professionals in engineering, quality control, and FDA compliance to support the life sciences field in executing mission-critical projects. ASI provides highly specialized pros to deliver projects on time and budget. Don't pay a lot more to a big consulting firm, and don't trust the big temp agencies to supply the talent you need. Call Laz, my friend Laz at Automated Systems, when failure isn't an option. ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life sciences companies, from big pharma to startups, and excel through a culture of excellence in execution. For a staffing, compliance, or automation evaluation, call Laz now at Automated Systems at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit AutomatedSYS.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or AutomatedSYS.com.
With Quicken Loans, the outdated and complicated mortgage process is a thing of the past. Our simple process helps you understand all the details so you can be confident that you're getting the right mortgage. Take your mortgage to the next level and call 800-QUICKEN or go completely online with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. No matter how you prefer to work with us, we've got what you need to get you through the mortgage process with ease. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the third year in a row, they also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Whether you're looking to purchase or refinance, now is the time. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.23%. Call 800-QUICKEN or get started online at rocketmortgage.com. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
All right, I know you're bombarded with MyPillow ads everywhere you turn, not only from me, but on TV, billboards, and in print. But the reason is simple. It's the best pillow available. You deserve a restful and relaxing summer. And the July radio deal using my name, Amy, in the promo code is the best deal available. It's the 50% discount on a MyPillow 4-pack, including 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows for half the price. You can move the fill to give you the exact support you need regardless of sleep position. You'll sleep deep and won't wake up to a stiff neck or headache. And our good friend Mike Lindell manufactures them in America using only American labor. You can wash and dry them. They're hypoallergenic. And you get a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit mypillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Larry Elder has some tough talk for Democrats.
The people that are having all this angst about Trump, these Obama people, the ones that are described in the Washington Post, ask them what they would do. Essentially, it's taking money from productive people and giving it to other people. That's what they want to do. And the American people are not down with that. You are clueless.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads now. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center in for Jim, here's Dominic.
No problems out across most of our Illinois roadways. Edens and Kennedy rolling incident-free. Outbound Kennedy at 10 minutes downtown to Montrose, 20 out to O'Hare, 8 in the outbound express lanes, Eisenhower and Stevenson. No hassles there. 34 minutes on the inbound Stevenson from 355 in. Ryan at 15 minutes in between downtown and 95th. And our tollways getting the early thumbs up. Traffic's a service of Cabela's. Celebrate the 4th with huge savings during Cabela's 4th of July sale. Take 50% off Quantum Solo spinning and casting rod and reel combos. Cabela's Deluxe Flotation Vest starting at $749 plus 50% off Caravan slant leg canopies. Traffic answers when you need the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Partial sunshine throughout the day today with a high of 80. Then for tonight, turning out to be mainly clear with a low 62. Independence Day tomorrow. More clouds than sun throughout the day, high of 84. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 67 at O'Hare, 65 along the lakefront. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, the Napa Bucket $3.99 is back. Not only will you get 20% off 3 or more items you can fit inside, but they'll also donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund with purchase while supplies last. Exclusions apply. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following this morning in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. An investigation is underway following a plane crash over the weekend in Price County, Wisconsin, that killed 6, including the aircraft holding 2 from elementary schools in Bensonville. Victims identified as Thomas Demurov, a Bensonville teacher of physical education, and Charles Tomlins, a maintenance director for the district. Chicago police are dealing with another violent 4th of July weekend. 49 were shot across the city by last night. 4 of those victims have died. Illinois lawmakers say they're going back to work after a dramatic vote in the House Sunday to increase residents' income taxes by 32%. 4 are hospitalized following a fire on Chicago's near north side. Blaze started yesterday morning inside an apartment near Oak and Orleans. Cubs avoid the 3-game sweep with a 6-2 win over the Reds. White Sox get a Yolmer Sanchez home run and a win over the Rangers, 6-5. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
They don't like the president. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. There were impeachment rallies in cities across America, from Florida there to New York. There were also pro-Trump counter rallies. He was in L.A.
I'm very happy with President Trump right now. I have no problems.
In Philadelphia, there was a problem. After a pro-Trump group marched yesterday, they were confronted in a bar and a fight broke out. 2 anti-Trump demonstrators were charged with assaulting a Trump supporter. A third person was charged with assaulting a police officer. Another of President Trump's tweets has led to yet another uproar. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the president sent a tweet of a doctored video that shows him body slamming a man with a CNN logo superimposed on his head to the ground. Homeland Security Advisor Tom Bossert told ABC's This Week.
I think that no one would perceive that as a threat. I hope they don't. But I do think that he's beaten up in a way on cable platforms that he has a right to respond to.
CNN issued a statement saying it is a sad day when the president of the United States encourages violence against reporters. We will keep doing our jobs. He should start doing his. Dave.
Rachel, President Trump was busy on the phone last night talking to the leaders of Japan and China about the North Korean threat. He said to be concerned the Chinese aren't doing enough to deter the North's nuclear program and test launches, but China's president has warned President Trump of some negative factors hurting relations. Unhappy with U.S. sanctions on a bank and arms sales to Taiwan. A fiery crash in Germany this morning. A bus slammed into a truck on a Bavarian highway, then burst into flames. Police are saying there are multiple fatalities. 18 initially said to be missing are likely dead. Forensic specialists being brought in to ID charred bodies. An Amtrak train went off the rails in Washington State yesterday.
Everything was going smoothly. Then I noticed like boom, 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 boom. I didn't know what to think.
Several passengers were injured. What caused the derailment is being investigated. Fox News, fair and balanced.
According to the forecast, it's going to be a long, hot summer. Russian collusion. James Comey.
Obstruction of justice. Impeachment. White House leaks. Jeff Sessions. Climate change. Islamic terrorism. Vladimir Putin.
Join AM 560's Joe Walsh for a very special event on Tuesday, August 22nd. It's the Summer of Trump, live at the Bolingbrook Golf Club, hosted by Joe Walsh and featuring Hugh Hewitt and Guy Benson. Tickets are available now at 560theanswer.com/summer. That's 560theanswer.com/summer.
With Quicken Loans, the outdated and complicated mortgage process is a thing of the past. Our simple process helps you understand all the details so you can be confident that you're getting the right mortgage. Take your mortgage to the next level and call 800-QUICKEN or go completely online with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. No matter how you prefer to work with us, we've got what you need to get you through the mortgage process with ease. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Whether you're looking to purchase or refinance, now is the time. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.23%. Call 800-QUICKEN or get started online at rocketmortgage.com. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Ding, 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 ding. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. It's our Independence Day special, and I know you're a true patriot in all thy sons command. Oh, wait a minute, that's O Canada. They celebrate, is that today or was that yesterday, the 150th birthday of Canada?
Come on, what do I know about Canadians? America Light. I have no use for them unless we have an embargo. Then I go there and buy all my stuff.
I used to love singing the Canadian national anthem because it meant that the Blackhawks were playing Montreal or Toronto. In Montreal or Toronto, and that's a song that's singable. The Star Spangled Banner is impossible unless you're Adele. Yeah. By the way, even Adele can't sing right now. Did you know that her vocal cords are wrecked?
Come on, I'm surprised she'd get a fork stuck in her throat? For God's sake.
From eating the Kentucky Fried Chicken special.
Yeah.
The at some point during the morning, I would like to do my mashup, if you will. And
You've been doing everything the whole time.
No,
I'm waiting for a silence here. You got gills like my Auntie Bing, for God's sake.
It's Adele's Rolling in the Deep with the Hams beer from the land of sky blue waters, because Rolling in the Deep sounds like an Indian war chant. It really does. We could have had it from the land of sky blue waters.
Well, you got as much of a grasp of what's an Indian than
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren with the high cheekbones.
Here's the problem. Everybody's talking about the Trump tweet. This is starting a war against the media. Well, how soon did Elizabeth Warren call it blood money, what the Trump care was going to be, right after Scalise gets shot? And Hillary Clinton says the Republicans are the death party. I mean, you talk about rhetoric. And Trump was having a joke. It was silly. It was funny, this World Wrestling thing that he did in a
was
tweet
it?
yesterday.
I mean, listen.
You have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with the lack of people who call themselves Republicans, who call themselves, supporters, not questioning it. It's a moronic thing.
It's moronic. There's no question
and the
about
whole
it.
thing's a scam. And I think they're making. Are you making fun of people by participating in that at a certain point? That kind of stupidity, I think, it's not just sophomoric. I think it's just you're making fun of people. I think the World Wrestling Federation is making fun of its supporters. I mean, you have to. It's
so. I just want to get it straight. You think Trump was being ridiculous when he did this?
Yeah, I mean, I do.
It was, yeah.
A genius ridiculous because you blindly get all their support now.
Well,
so
the base, I mean, loves him no matter what. I like that he does it because, as bad as he is, and I you know what I really hated last week, or was it 10 days ago or so? He drove his golf cart, admittedly on his own golf course, on the green. There's video of him driving his.
It's good to be the king.
Well, but it's horrible because you do not desecrate the face of a putting green. You can desecrate the face of Mika Brzezinski.
All right, let me point something out to you. It's brilliant on many, many levels. This whole thing, war on CNN. You're focusing on this to not focus on the real big issues, right?
Russian collusion.
Not focus. No, I'm talking about the real big issues of his economic plan. See, to me, that's always about the money. Then the Keynesian economic infrastructure spending, that's in the wings. That's going to fly by. It has massive support. I'm very happy about this stagnation of this ridiculous Trump Care 2, which is nothing but Obamacare shored up, the Republican GOP bill. I'm so happy that this blind
squirrel... You won't take half a loaf?
Forget all that nonsense, half a loaf, advance the flag, all that Keynesian poppycock to grow the Leviathan. He finally stumbled onto an idea that isn't his, but okay, let him take credit for it. Let's just repeal it, and we'll come up with a replacement later.
Well, that's actually Rand Paul reversing...
Ted Cruz.
Well, it was Rand Paul reversing his first... his first choice, which was not to repeal and then replace. Now they're trying to resurrect this idea of repealing.
How do you tamp down... I think he saw how many people were so excited about the fact you're just going to repeal it and not mess with anything else, that he said, let's stoke the flames even more. I'll send this tweet out, because it was shortly after that announcement he made that old lady face, the transgendering Mitch McConnell, came on and said, no, we're going to also replace it because that's where the money lies. That's where they can put their stock positions and grab their campaign contributions, is in the replacement. So Mitch McConnell, the government animal who's prostituted government his entire existence since Zanzibelts were in style and you were in shape, he has learned
I was never in shape
to keep that infrastructure going. So, we have to distract us, and he does it. So
impute the worst motives to conservatives like Mitch McConnell. Next thing you're going to tell me is
Mitch McConnell is not a
Paul
conservative.
Ryan is a sellout as well.
Mitch McConnell is not a conservative. He's a fraud.
Our phone number is 312-642-5600, the turnkey.pro answer line.
The only time Paul Ryan is nothing but a fraud. He stands for nothing. Never did anything.
What are you talking about? He's in favor of entitlement reform. He realizes that you have to do it in stages. There's a lot to be said for whatever the Republicans have come up with, and of course there's no unanimity on it right now, but they are trying to scale back things like Medicaid.
They're trying to
which
sell
Illinois should be doing as well, because there's a lot of frauds who are getting Medicaid right now.
Tell me when you're at the period so I could talk. Will you?
I'm at the parentheses, so go ahead. Go for it.
What they do is they sell you a well-managed socialism where they're in charge of it. They're not talking about any. It's kind of like the Illinois Republicans. Where's the Illinois Republican, except for Jeannie Ives and Skillicorn? I'll give those two credit till I'm blue in the face. Actually talking about the seizure, the stopping of all spending, the reevaluation of programs, the deceleration of growth of these programs. Where are they? Because what these Republicans have learned is that this phony battle where they're both selling two versions of the same seizure of your rights and liberty, it raises money.
Got to give credit to Rauner for one thing. He has pursued taking the unions apart through the courts.
Oh.
There's that Lincolnshire case.
Yeah.
He's trying to get union dues.
How's it working?
It takes some time to
when you
wend
put
its
up
way
before
through the
these
courts.
appointed judges who have allegiance to the daily crime family and the rest of
I'm
the
talking about
cabal.
the federal courts now.
Oh, and they don't?
Well, if Trump, let's see who replaces Anthony Kennedy.
On an Independence Day special, let's talk about what the Declaration of Independence is really about. It's about a people who are demanding to break the bands that tie us to a corrupt oligarchy, monarchy, to a system that works against the interest of the people. And nowhere is that a better example than Illinois, where right now they've been down there for 10 days laughing at us, the taxpayers.
Speaking of Independence Day, we talk about how Trump's supposed war on the media, and he's going to cause people to do violence against members of the media because he did this fake wrestling video, which was, as you say, sophomoric. And as Trump says, it's modern-day presidential. George Will had a column yesterday in National Review about the very violent and ugly birth of America. I mean, how people were drawn and quartered and tarred and feathered. And there were like 37,000 people who were killed, which...
Like Venezuela now?
Well, if you prorate it, because there weren't all that many colonists to begin with, it's like much more than we lost in World War II. And it was just very horrible, and people never see that ugly side.
And that's why you have to be vigilant in protecting those liberties.
But here's the thing. We're so namby-pamby now that we can't even take this little joke. That it was sophomoric by Trump. It's not presidential. But I don't see it actually wrecking whatever agenda he has right now.
Listen,
Obamacare,
he's a genius in marketing. He's a genius in building a brand. He's a genius in selling the platinum package at Trump University, which is nothing. He's a genius at selling nothing, which is great. But now he's in a job where he has to stand for something. And the problem I have with him is he seems very pliable because he has no fundamental structure in what free market capitalism is. He doesn't believe in it. He really doesn't, because he paid the play. He paid Rahm Emanuel. He paid the Democrat. That system works for him, which is why he's not draining the swamp. You just had his economic panel. Look at who he's got up there. Fraud after fraud, from Rex Tillerson, the oil man who the OPEC supporter, to that buffoon scoundrel Wilbur Ross, who he turns to sell me tariffs that they were
Scott
selling
Pruitt
me in the
at the
30s.
EPA? He's trying to roll back the Obama regulations. They were trying to federalize the local waterways.
But
so that's a good thing. That
there are good things.
He's actually tried to put in place this travel ban.
There are good things.
Yes.
But they're temporary. They're parchment promises. He's done nothing to change the trajectory of the tyranny.
We were going to have the leftward, crazy binge of Obama-ism over 8 years. It was going to continue for another 8 years with Hillary Clinton.
You know what I liked
aborted that
about Rick Perry? Not that he just forgot things and he somehow put glasses on and we're supposed to forget it. He was on to something when he wanted to abolish those departments. Those departments that he wanted to abolish.
Can you name all three?
Those were, well, I know the one he's ahead of, the energy department, which produces no energy. The education department. How's that? How are these departments actually doing? It's like arguing about the teacher's pension in Chicago. How are you producing? What are you producing? What's your end result? And the answer is failure. Failure. And all you're concerned with is affording your lifestyle in Hawaii when you retire. And you don't want to talk about the fake. Here, you know what always astonished me about teacher unions? How are you going to teach my kid anything when you can't figure out your pension is a scam? You're a teacher, and you can't figure out this market.
If you're a new teacher, it's a scam.
It's
it's a Ponzi
math.
scheme where you're paying for the old people, and you're never going to see any of it.
It's mark-to-market math. That's Enron math of compounded interest. And you know what's disgusted me too are these politicians, these Republicans, not just the ones that voted for this bill, but the ones who cannot articulate the fact that your supposed contract of a lie, of a scam called your pension, in the public sector. That doesn't get to be used as a weapon to seize the property of those not in on that scam. I don't want to hear any more of a promise we made to these people. I don't care.
There's too many people in Illinois who are in on the scam.
That's how mobsters run communities.
Well,
Cut everyone in.
It's ridiculous. Too many people are in. That's why you had 15 Republicans. And, kudos, or kujos, as Michael Jordan would say, to Madigan for getting as many Republicans as he did on board so that it would be cover for the Democrats who didn't want to go back to their constituents. There was this one Democratic representative, Ying Yang or whatever his name is, who now was able to vote no. I mean, that's great when you can, your own party, your own caucus can vote against it. You can provide cover for that because you got enough Republicans on board.
When you stand for nothing, you bow for everything. You're for sale. You're a two-bit prostitute. That's all you are.
We'll talk to the callers, and Sean may argue with them before they even make their points, because that's what we do around here. You can call the turnkey.pro answer line at 312-642-5600. That's 312-642-5600. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on an Independence Day special.
Extravaganza.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
So today I get to do the weather, and I do miss Amy's sultry voice for the weather. Don't you miss it? Today, it's partly sunny with a high of 80. Tonight, mainly clear, low 62. Tomorrow, mostly more clouds than sun. Same kind of day. Mirror image. Wednesday, it rains. Now we're going to go to Dominic Fortini, who is really kind of, I would say he's the Milton Berle of traffic.
Some would certainly say that. They're quiet on our Illinois roadways this morning. Going to be a little bit different than we're used to seeing for our Monday mornings. Usually at this point, we're extended delays and lots of accidents, but not so much today. Light traffic volume across the roads. Edens and Kennedy remain quiet. 20 minutes on the inbound Kennedy, O'Hare into downtown. 10 from the junction. Express lanes now flip to the inbound side. Eisenhower and Stevenson delay-free. Ryan, 15 minutes in between 95th and downtown. Still looking good along I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive, and our Illinois tollways. Still rolling pretty quiet. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
I have actually been on Balance of Nature for a year now. I have MS, and I recently had an MRI. This is the first year that I've had a stable MRI, so I'm thrilled. When I have an MRI with MS, usually there are glowing spots that come through, which is damage on the nerves in my brain and my spinal cord, and when they're glowing, it means they're active. And then my last MRI, they pulled it up, and I honestly couldn't believe that it was my MRI. There was nothing glowing. And in fact, the dark spots were shrinking. They were healing. And the doctor actually said to me, I think we're in remission. I was so happy. I had no idea that could be my reality.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
Did you know your organization's logo can do far more than you think?
Your logo carried my clothes to the gym.
Your logo kept my coffee warm all morning. Your logo charged my phone last night.
When the highly trained team at 4imprint put your logo on things people actually use, you'll be amazed at how powerful your logo can be. Not only will we unleash the full power of your logo, we'll show you the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers absolutely free. Text TEAM to 642-642 now. Every time your customers enjoy one of our promotional items with your logo, they'll think of you. Plus, with free art assistance, we'll make every item look fantastic for a great price. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Your logo keeps my laptop safe.
Your logo keeps me dry. Attract new customers, reward employees, and make a lasting impression. Discover the top 3 promotional items for free. Text TEAM to 642-642. That's TEAM to 642-642.
Are you facing foreclosure, been foreclosed upon, in a bad modification, or just stuck in a bad mortgage? Well, we may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. We defend foreclosure actions. We bring claims against the banks and the servicers for wrongful foreclosure and other violations of mortgage servicing regulations. And we help people negotiate modifications of their existing mortgages, often including principal reductions. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, and advice regarding your options.
Hi, this is Rayanne from Lou Bridges and Associates. I am one of the loan modification processors here, and if you are in need of any additional information in regard to a loan modification, please contact the office.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
AM 560. The Answer.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Rosanna, Rosanna. Ow! Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for... Well, I'm just a disc jockey. I just want to talk up the song.
We got the hair for it there, Wolfman Jack.
This is the Midnight Special at 6:20 in the morning. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on Independence Day special that we have right
Extravaganza.
here. Extravaganza. It's escalated to that right now.
Well, you might as well.
Yeah. Hype it. Hype it to the max. So we're talking about, and we got two basic topics this morning.
We've got a lot more.
Well, three. My hair. Secondly, the topic du jour on CNN. Every time I look up, now it says Republicans react to Trump tweets attacking media, specifically CNN. So it's all self-referential. As one caller said, at least it took them off the Russian collusion matter. But now it's all,
it should be changed.
Trump's sophomoric wrestling thing, the tweet yesterday. And also the Illinois legislature, which passed a tax hike with no commensurate property tax reform, pension reform, workers' comp reform. People are going to be fleeing the state
which is
even
why,
greater, which, by the way, the Democrats think is a myth. They don't think people are leaving the state.
Because now they're going to live in reality. But the thing is, Rauner says he's going to veto it, which, okay, it's great. But what's the overall outcome for the people of Illinois?
Well, first of all, even if he vetoes, it right now looks like they have the numbers to override the veto. So then he gets to
and you know
veto.
Why? Because Republicans are now supporting Madigan's spending.
Right.
See, that's what happens when you stand for nothing.
Yesterday.
You are now endorsing and agreeing with the Madigan budget, which is nothing but giving a drug addict a blank credit card. That's all you're doing.
Right.
Here you go. Go crazy. Not one spending reduction is there proposed. Not one.
The income tax, the temporary income tax hike of a few years ago brought in something like $32 billion, and we reduced our deficit or debt. No, there were like $1 billion paid in out of the $32 billion
Bruce,
brought in.
Who's doing the math? Who's showing you the math? So it's laughable. It's like when you see $20 trillion debt for America. It's a $240 trillion debt. You're just leaving out what embarrasses you. You know what I mean? It's outrageous. It's like when a cheating husband goes home and deletes his text messages. Here, honey, just look at the ones I want you to see. It's the same thing. You're hiding what you don't want the people to see so you can continue to lie to them.
The people want to be fooled, though, as Abraham Lincoln said.
They
want to be bamboozled.
Listen,
they don't want to have to pay for anything. That's why we're in this mess right now.
And that's what you're going to see at the 4th of July parades. When you see these welfare patriots waving their flag, talking about how great America is, then asking where their free stuff is, that's how you know they want to be lied to, because they're liars themselves.
They lie to themselves, and as Father Zosima said...
See, Dave won't even talk about what he wants to talk about because he's afraid I'll argue with him.
As Father Zosima said in The Brothers Karamazov, I believe on page 137, which is where I stopped reading, because it's just too complicated, he said... you can lie to other people, but please don't fool yourself. That's the worst lie that you can tell. Dave from Lamont, good morning.
Hey there, good morning. One of you gentlemen made a comment really stuck with me. He said something about the confiscation of the property of those not in the scam.
That was
and
me.
I interpreted that. Okay, well, that was a very great pertinent comment because I interpreted that as, property taxes, what's happening on the taxes with our houses. They're about to skyrocket yet again. I just got my assessment on my property in Cook County, my house.
How many times are you actually going to pay for your house? The actual price and the property taxes that you'll wind up having to pay over the course of the time that you have the house will equal the value of everything that you paid into your mortgage.
Crazy.
Well, this is what they want you. But they want you to feel lucky that they're letting you live there. So it is a confiscation. Go ahead.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
the guys I work with, they're like, oh, Rauner this, Rauner that. And I'm like, you know what? Whether you like him or obviously you guys hate him, but okay.
I don't.
Let's say, no, I don't mean you guys. I mean the guys I work with. I said,
okay.
If we take Rauner out of the equation, he's only been there for 2 years. He didn't make this problem. So if we take Rauner totally out of the equation, how is anything better? How is this not happening to us? And these guys are like deceived. They don't get it. It's like
Dave,
guys, they're pushing you out of your houses. Don't you get it?
Hey, you're living Lamont. Go play Cog Hill number 3 today. On Sean's dime. You ready to pay for him to play Cog Hill? All right, thanks, Dave. We appreciate the call.
You know what, Dave? Dave encapsulates though is the anger of the situation we're in. You can blame one guy. You can blame 5 guys. Everybody likes, oh, man against the bad. You know who the real guy to blame is? The people who vote for these people. You continue to do it. And the reason I get mad at these 15 Republicans, they're the ones who ran and said they weren't going to do it. So you double-crossed me. You are now a traitor to my beliefs, pretending to represent them. So you're the problem. And the Democrat tells you what he's going to do. That's why on a certain level, Mike Madigan has more integrity than any one of these 15 Republicans. Mike Madigan tells you he's a socialist. He tells you he's going to corrupt the system. He tells you he owns the law firm that you're going to have to turn to if you want.
You always hate the turncoat, the worst.
Right.
Peter Robinson of the Hoover Institute was interviewing Bruce Rauner at Dartmouth College a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, how uppity.
And, well, because Rauner's kid had
more
just
intellectual
graduated.
Masturbation. Tell me what they came to. What conclusion did these Einsteins come to?
Well, basically, Robinson did make the point that he thought that the long game that Rauner is playing right now is that he's got to get reelected. This is all just, so much foreplay that's going on right now.
So that's not why you ran, though. That's not why you told me you were running.
Well, you've got to get reelected because this problem, as many people have pointed out, it started a long, long time ago, thanks to Jim Edgar, with his ramp. Governor Hairspray, as somebody once called him. These are Republicans who were in on the act, too. It's the combine, as John Cass calls it. So, both sides are to blame for this, and now, as late as yesterday, 15 Republicans voted in favor of this tax hike. So, Rauner, if the people really mean it, he's going to have to get reelected and have the support of the public to actually do something. And so that's where the rubber is going to meet the road.
You better get used to that Lou Costello lookalike, because that J.B. Pritzker, that necklace wonder who's been prostituting government for generations, he's going to be your next governor.
Coming up after the break, we'll take your calls at 312-642-5600. The Turnkey.pro answer line, talking about the legislature in Illinois hell-bent on suicide. And this republic, of course, still going strong somewhat at 241 years, despite Donald Trump's tweets, which I didn't have that big a problem with. We'll be taking your calls. We'll be going back and forth. Sean may let me get in a word.
This guy,
Edgewires,
Mike
as
Scott,
my
have you
aunt
ever
would
seen
say.
anything like it? He doesn't even take a breath. It's amazing. Really.
Actually, Sean, people don't realize that you're my Jerry Mahoney. I'm a ventriloquist, and I actually play the part of Sean Thompson.
Yes, he does. Which would explain why his hand is always trying to go. Yeah, go ahead.
All coming up after the break.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-300-8038. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away, so you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-300-8038. That's 1-800-300-8038. 1-800-300-8038.
Napa know-how. Buckets are good, Good at storing, carrying, and hauling all kinds of stuff. But the Napa Bucket for $3.99 does more good than that. Like getting you 20% off 3 or more items that fit inside. And donating $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. So do our soldiers and yourself some good. And save 20% with the Napa Bucket. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Exclusions apply. Offer expires 7/31/17.
When you're hiring for a growing business, you don't need lots of candidates. You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com. With an algorithm that positions your job post where quality candidates are and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson.
This is right out of your era. Leisure suits, bell bottoms, chest hair, and women with low standards.
We're talking to you at 312-642-5600, the Turnkey.Pro answer line coming up after the break. Now let's go. Look at here now.
Come on, Bruce. Do a boogie check. Do a boogie check right now.
Boogie check. Yeah. I worked with John Landecker.
I know. So
after his Hall of Fame career was over.
In the Hall of Fame of broadcasting.
And I worked with him in the mid-'80s.
There we go.
In the mid-'80s.
Yeah, you know, we're
Landecker
great.
is going into the Hall of Fame for everything that he did 40 years ago. And
That's
God
all right.
bless him. He's the nicest guy in the
Just
world.
in case your mom's not listening, can we go to Mike Scott? Jeez.
Okay. Yeah.
68 degrees in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. A man police describe as a French nationalist jailed at this hour, plotting with others in a plot to kill the country's president on Bastille Day. Police arrested the 23-year-old Frenchman late last week, and over the weekend, he revealed a plot to kill the newly elected president, Emmanuel Macron, on July 14. Police in France also say 8 are hurt at this hour when 2 gunmen opened fire outside of a mosque in the southeast part of that country. Police say they believe 18 are dead after a tour bus hit a truck and burst into flames early this morning in the German state of Bavaria. The White House says China and Japan are still in support of a denuclearized Korean peninsula. President Trump speaking with the Chinese president and the Japanese prime minister late last night. Republicans still squaring off after President Trump's Twitter rampage against major news outlets. On CBS's Face the Nation, Utah Senator Mike Lee.
The President of the United States is a unique man. He campaigned on a very aggressive platform that involved draining the swamp.
In the nation's west, fire officials in southern Utah say containment on the Brian Head fire remains at 65% after a weekend of good firefighting weather. There are reports leaking out of Seattle this morning that Microsoft is about to lay off thousands of workers. According to the tech industry website TechCrunch, other news media outlets as well reporting major layoffs coming after Microsoft sales units around the world failed to hit marks. An investigation is underway following a plane crash over the weekend in Price County, Wisconsin, that killed 6, including 2 from a local elementary school district in Bensonville.
Knowing what happened, we don't know that yet. We are in the fact-finding stage, and we could not know that for several months.
NTSB investigator Alex Lamishko saying that weather may have played a problem, but they cannot determine that as of yet. 2 of the victims identified as Thomas DeMoro and Charles Tomlitz, 2, again, elementary school employees from the district. And the site they may have worked at is the Tioga Elementary School in Bensonville. Cubs avoid the 3-game sweep. They eke out a 6-2 win over the Reds in Cincinnati. Yolmer Sanchez's 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th powered the White Sox to a 6-5 win over the Rangers. The news service of Burger King's Lucky Charms Shake. The new Lucky Charms Shake at Burger King with the flavors of Lucky Charms cereal, magical marshmallow pieces, and oat cereal mixed with vanilla soft serve. Try it at Burger King restaurants for a limited time, or try the Fruit Loop Shake limited time. Participation varies. 6:34 is our time, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next. on AM 560.
Dennis Prager lets the media have it.
All of the media is a form of manipulating the American public. There is not only no joy, there is sadness in me that I have to say this. This is a great country and a great democracy, and it deserves, if not a great media, at least a mediocre one. It's worse than mediocre.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Don't miss Cabela's 4th of July sale with savings on Cabela's stainless tabletop gas grill, only $99.99, and 40% off Cabela's getaway tents. Shop in store or online. If your roof is needy, if your roof is leaky,
Call Grumweedy.
if your roof isn't right after it's stormy and shingles are curly,
Call Grumweedy.
If your roof is looking needy, call Crumweedy. This is Mark Olson of Crumweedy.
And I'm Greg Olson from Crumweedy. We are a third-generation family-run business. We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
You really can't do that unless you do really amazing roofs. We share the same conservative values as you, and we really want to do your roof. Here's what you can expect.
First, no high pressure. You make the choice. Whatever option you choose, count on getting a roof that lasts at a fair price.
You see, application is really the key. We follow the manufacturer's specifications so your warranty is intact. You know, a lot of companies don't do that, and that could really void your warranty.
No horror stories here. The roof you need that will fix your problems. When your roof is needy,
Call Grumweedy.
for your needy roof, go to myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
6:35 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim this week, here's Dominic.
Thanks, Mike. Things looking pretty decent across the Chicago area. If you're out and about early this morning, you're one of the many few. Looks like we've got a lighter than usual traffic volume, not your ordinary Monday with the holiday week here. Eden's looking good. Kennedy in 20 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 10 in from the junction, 8 in the inbound express lanes. Outbound on the Ike, looking at 29 minutes from the post office out to Thorndale. Inbound Stevenson, delay-free between 355 and the drive, 34 minutes on that trip. Well, the Ryan sits at 15 minutes in between 95th and downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive, and Illinois tollways, all with a light traffic volume and moving well. Traffic's a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, the Napa Bucket for $3.99 is back. Not only will you get 20% off 3 or more items you can fit inside, but they'll also donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. With purchase while supplies last, exclusions apply. Traffic answers when you need them the most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Partly sunny and a high near 80 today. Seen some storms cross the northern part of Illinois, close to the Wisconsin border this morning. Otherwise, we're okay. Clear and 62 overnight. 67 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson filling the chairs this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
The hypocrites scatter when I shine the bright light of reason. I'm Larry Elder. Join me tonight at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson. And I love that patriotic music that's being played right now.
Yeah, it's all about the Independence Day extravaganza.
That's what we're giving you today. Dan and Amy have the day off. I assume they have tomorrow off.
Did you catch the zinger from Mike Scott? Fill in the chairs. Did you catch it? I caught it, Scott.
I thought it was a compliment.
I was your biggest advocate.
I thought it was a compliment.
We might be filling the chairs, but Amy Jacobson stretched out my headset. She's got a head like a buffalo, for God's sakes.
Oh, you're wearing
my
your
head's flopping
headphones
around
today?
in this thing. Sure.
Yeah, I knew that you smelled kind of nice today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go to our telephone number is 312-642-5600, the turnkey.pro answer line. Let's go to Frank from the south side of Chicago. Hi, Frank.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good.
Just want to confirm what Dan has been talking about quite often. I bought a house in Englewheel, as the mayor calls it. It's actually Englewood.
Sure.
Paid $32,000 cash for it. It's a CHA Section 810 in there. So it's
Was that on Mediterranean or Baltic Avenue in Englewood?
Leave Frank Resco alone. Go ahead, Frank.
That's a brick colonial.
Okay.
in which the original buyer only paid $9,500 and fixed it up. He got the deal on it. But anyway,
okay,
it is wanting a little positive cash flow. So, but Mr. Barrios, the Cook County assessor, claims that property is worth $88,000, almost triple what I paid for it. So go figure. That's what I'm being taxed at, 88 G's.
That's why when Bruce Rauner says he's going to freeze your taxes, it's a lie.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. See, you know the whole scam that Barrios is running. Tribune just had, I love also that this guy was going to buy the Sun-Times, the former 43rd Ward Alderman, Edwin Eisendrath, says that he's going to represent the 99%, as opposed to the Tribune, which supposedly represents the elite. The Tribune's the one that's talking about people getting scammed out, the 99% getting scammed out by guys like Barrios.
What they don't tell you when they talk about this 99%, that the 1% is the government worker. That's the real 1% in this country, is the municipal worker. And that's what, as you can hear, we must protect the promises made to them. See, I'm not interested in protecting promises of a lie. I don't care what Al Capone had to deal with the booze distributor in Canada. I'm not going to honor it.
First of all, what promises? These people were put on notice that it was a scam years ago. It's like the cigarette case. I mean, I always loved, that somehow there was a class action nationwide, which Eddie Verdoli I got a piece of, but that's another story, how he got it. I don't know. People knew that cigarettes were bad for you. So all of a sudden you're going to have a class action suit saying, we weren't warned.
The same thing.
We weren't told about cigarettes. If you have a pension in Illinois, you've been on notice for decades now that they weren't going to be able to pay.
One thing I learned, I worked in the financial industries for a little while. I was a clerk. I started as a runner. I traded, became, I hold some different licenses, or I did hold licenses. I didn't keep them up because that's another lipstick salesman with lipstick on that pig and sell it. But one thing that they tell you whenever you're in the financial world is that past performances are no guarantee of future returns. That is like the first thing to be said when you are in the financial world. Past performances.
I'm in the Broadway theater.
No guarantee of future returns.
Leonard Bernstein, who had West Side Story and other things, the last show that he did, he said, I'm never going back to Broadway because it doesn't necessarily, the past does not necessarily presage the present.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, listen here, Exit Ramp. Let's just focus on what I'm talking about. So, yet you have an entire system of pensions that is guaranteeing a 10% compounded return for eternity. So that and then
because Bernie Madoff is the comptroller of the state of Illinois.
Well, listen, if Bernie Madoff would have been a senator, he'd have honorable in front of his name because they're pushing the same scam.
Can we go to Sydney from Oak Park? Hello, Sydney.
Yes, sir. Is this Shawnee from Elmwood Park?
Yes, that's Sean from Elmwood Park. I'm from Baraboo, Wisconsin. Go ahead.
You made an offhand comment about my friends and me at the Starbucks in Oak Park. And I would like to hear... What's that?
Yeah, I remember your call from before. What I said, you want to hear the whole comment.
You were on another radio station.
Oh, right. What I said, you see, this Sydney's got a hell of a memory. What I said was, here I am at a Starbucks in Oak Park, thinking I'm being magnanimous, letting a bunch of these old women in front of me. Mm-hmm. You come to find out they're men. In Oak Park, you can't tell the difference. Everybody's got a Prius.
Down, sir?
Everybody's got a Prius. They all got that Captain Kirk hairdo. Who could tell the difference?
And now I think this.
Down, sir?
Go ahead, Sydney.
Sydney's still mad about the comment.
No, that's a compliment.
It's
Go
a compliment.
Ahead, Sydney.
You look like William Shatner. You're stunning. See?
So you disagree with that? You disagree with that assessment, Sydney?
Yes, and I would say another thing.
Okay.
That Bruce has it completely right that we are already de facto bankrupt. There's nothing more to talk about.
There we go.
Yeah, because we got the courts that are already ordering certain payments.
We got to talk about stuff. We're on till 9. You know what I mean? This is why Sydney's he's not a good guest.
Will you come to Starbucks?
Sorry, I cut you off,
Starbucks in Oak Park.
I didn't mean to abort your call, Sydney. I'm just ham-fisted.
One time I needed a cup of coffee and had to go to the bathroom. I stopped in Oak Park. This poor guy won't let it go.
Because everybody looks like a transgender?
Oh, come on. They all look like William Shatner driving a Prius. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah. It's the People's Republic of Oak Park.
So now let's get on to, as long as we're talking about Oak Park, I think we should talk about North Korea.
Virtually
That's what I think of.
Thing. I think Dennis Rodman is an envoy to Oak Park.
They're all wearing that Hillary Clinton pantsuit. Same thing.
Sure.
You know what I don't understand? Because I'm watching the news, and it says that Trump is going to talk at the G20, and he's going to ask for who he's been demonizing his entire campaign, China's help with North Korea.
Yeah.
You don't need anybody's help. Here's the deal. $40 million to whoever kills the fat guy. And pick a house and pick a coast. That's America's offer to you. I'll give you $40 million to whoever whacks the fat slob. Problem solved.
These
people are cooking dogs.
Yeah.
Was that an Oriental comment?
That was from Trey Parker's magnum opus.
Because, I'm not going to go down with the ship as you start insulting people.
Look, I quote a movie that everybody loved?
Sure.
No, but he's exempt because he's probably a good liberal who can say that about the father of Kim Jong-un.
You know what I laugh? Everybody turned to Trump and they said, this guy's going to get things done. He's going to fix things, yada, yada, yada. Nobody cares. It's the same people, the same Bush sycophants, the same government agenda of more growth, more spending, the same nonsense.
And so, you know what President Obama said? And, it was an inconvenient truth. He said that basically this is an argument between the 40-yard lines, a little football metaphor there. We don't really all disagree that much. The Republicans maybe slow down Leviathan.
You know what Vladimir Putin said when he was asked about Donald Trump? It's not going to make that much of a difference. The bureaucracy is now and always has been in charge in America. And it's a shame.
The deep state.
I'm not one of these Russian guys. Oh, the Russians are great. But I will say, when he's right, he's right. He was dead right about that.
Just let's take a cleansing breath here and have Steve from Hinsdale tell us a little story right now.
Oh, we got stories.
Hi, Steve.
Hello. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Hey, good. I was, driving this morning early, and I heard you reference John Records Landecker.
Michael is my middle name. Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, yeah. I know John from high school. I went to high school with John. I'm an Ann Arbor guy just like John. Two quick stories about John. He's a very, very smart guy. John is just one of the smartest guys in the world.
And a nice guy, too. I worked with him at the world's largest store. Very nice.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
He ran for class president, and you know what his motto was to win? Make our Johns great again.
Oh, that's
the people in high school loved it. Just loved it. That was the best slogan ever for a high school kid. Make our Johns great
Boogie
again.
Boogie check. Yeah. Go ahead, Steve. Another story?
I don't know that you know that, but you know his father was 100% blind. He was congenitally blind.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. He's a doctor, Dr. Landecker.
Mm-hmm.
He's an academic at Michigan. And Dr. Landecker wore glasses his entire life. And you know why he wore glasses?
Why?
Because he didn't want to be profiled as weak because he was blind. He wanted to trick everybody to think he was normal.
That's old
like
school.
everybody.
Nowadays, everybody tries to hype the fact that they're handicapped. It's like FDR is shown in his wheelchair now, whereas FDR tried to actually hide that. We used to give people their dignity, but now it's like let's show all the deficits that you have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The exact opposite back in the day. Wanted to be viewed as a regular guy. Had a lead. I used to watch Dr. Landecker walk back and forth to Michigan in high school for years. He had his leader dog and his glasses on, and I never knew that until just about 30 years ago when I was at a family event with John and some of his
Very nice story, Steve. We have to move on because our raison d'etre is, to be mad about Trump and the Illinois legislature. But call back with some Dick Biondi stories next, okay? Thank you, Steve.
What you
Thank
said,
you, Steve. No, very nice. Very good stories told by Steve.
What you said is really interesting
Yeah.
because there is a certain virtue in an inadequacy or weakness. There is a virtue in it.
Well, we're trying to trumpet our weaknesses right now.
And, it really does explain so much. There is such a virtue in opioids. Let's look at J.B. Pritzker, Lou Costello. I keep going to the future impending disaster we have on the horizon, whether it's Rauner or Pritzker. What we have on the horizon is more of this agenda where it is about the collective to take care of the weak, and the more the opioid problem, as that's what I'm alluding to in Pritzker's commercial. It's about the people who are opioid addicts. We must seize your property. We have drug addicts to take care of, for God's sakes. That's pretty much what he's saying. And you know what? That collectivist socialist nonsense, that's all we're really arguing. How much to implement?
Do you know that there's a story right now that Medicaid has actually contributed to the opioid crisis because the doctors are giving people opioids?
People used to be ashamed to be on Medicaid. People used to be ashamed to have food stamps.
Now everybody's on it. We're all on the dole.
How many 4th of July parties are financed by food stamps? Yeah, you're patriotic.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson. In for Dan and Amy on an Independence Day extravaganza. Boogie check. Yeah.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer
All right,
AM
so
560, The Answer.
I gotta let that guy finish talking. I'm used to interrupting for my meal here. Today, partly sunny, high of 80. Tonight, mainly clear, low 62. Tomorrow is going to be a mirror image, a couple more clouds. Wednesday, we're going to have some showers and some thunderstorms. It's going to get down to 68 at night. Thursday, they're just making it up. Now, let's go to the Ricardo Montalban of traffic. It's Dom Fortini. See, in my neighborhood, Dominic, we call you Dom. Dom Fortini.
That'll work in my neighborhood, too. Quiet across our Chicago area roadways. Edens and Kennedy moving right along. Inbound Kennedy, 20 minutes, so here to downtown. 10 in from the junction, 8 in the inbound express. Traveling outbound on the Ike, it'll cost you 29 minutes from the post office out to Thorndale. Stevenson rolls incident-free in both directions, 34 minutes from 355 into the drive, while the outbound side of the Ryan still at 15 minutes downtown to 95th. I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive. When was the last time we could say quiet on a Monday morning, as are our Illinois toll roads? Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm Rich Thomason in for Lou Dobbs. An open but slow day on Wall Street. Consumer spending in the spotlight. Germany's battle over online hate speech continues. Those stories next.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper and deeper in credit card debt and you're not sure how to fix the problem? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management is a nonprofit organization that will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, and reduce your interest rates by as much as 60%. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. It's not a loan. It's a smart way to relieve your stress, meet your obligations, and preserve your self-respect. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Gather up your bills and call this toll-free number for a free, no-obligation debt analysis. 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976. If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
The markets are open today, but with many Americans taking an extended 4th of July weekend, it feels like a holiday. Economists expect a typical but not robust day of activity on Wall Street today. Economic reports ahead this morning. Gallup releases its latest report on consumer spending, and we'll get the latest government figures on construction spending. Last week's move by lawmakers in Germany approving a bill cracking down on so-called hate speech has ignited a worldwide debate over freedom of expression, even as online platforms like Facebook and Google wrestle with how to restrict hateful messages. First Amendment experts here in America worry about the implications for the free and open exchange of ideas online. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Your kids won't be thinking about school very much this summer, but it's the perfect time for you to think about where you'll be sending your child back to school this fall. More and more parents are thinking about private school, and maybe that's you. Well, private school has never been more affordable thanks to halfpriceschools.com, where you can find tuition vouchers for private schools across Chicagoland available at half of the normal price. There's no catch. It's very simple. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. Halfpriceschools.com has schools located all across Chicagoland, including schools in South Holland, Chicago, Arlington Heights, and Downers Grove, and Antioch, too. Waukegan. But don't delay. Summer won't last forever, and school will be starting again before you know it. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. Many of these vouchers have already sold out, so don't wait. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
They're here, circling over your head, and they're tracking you down. You feel overwhelmed, like you can't escape. You need a solution to get your back taxes filed, to put your life back on track. If you owe $10,000 or more, then you need someone who can keep the vultures at bay and work directly with the IRS to leverage every opportunity to settle your tax debt. Mary Karpowitz of locally owned Comprehensive Tax Solutions is an enrolled agent and certified resolution specialist. Don't let the IRS threaten you. You should never need to speak to them directly. Mary will do that. Comprehensive Tax Solutions will execute a plan that can help settle your tax problems, and they will fight for you. Comprehensive Tax Solutions can be a lifesaver for your family. Don't call a toll-free number to represent you. Call Mary. 708-478-6770. 708-478-6770. Or go to resolveyourtaxproblems.com. Call Mary. 708-478-6770.
Yes, indeed, summertime. Another hot one. Wait, gonna be a little bit cooler today. Back to hot, gonna be windy. Maybe a thunderstorm mixed in for good measure. Up and down and up and down. The climate is always changing. Your company's heating and cooling system really gets a workout in Chicagoland. Be ready for anything this summer. Call Air Comfort and get your business's cooling system tuned up and running at peak performance. You see, the Air Comfort problem solvers can find small problems before they become big problems. Plus, proper maintenance will keep your system from wasting energy and money. Air Comfort will make sure your equipment is clean and obstacle-free. And if your chiller is about to or has stopped working, they can install temporary solutions to keep you cool while the long-term fixes are put in place. The key to keep your climate from changing is preventative maintenance, and Air Comfort can help. Schedule a comprehensive assessment of your mechanical system today. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, providing the right climate for business since 1935.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's absolutely amazing that the combination of these capsules improves your health. It does tell you the value of food and nutrition.
I actually can feel a difference. I really can.
I love the product. It's wonderful. I can't live without it.
It's really helping me. Every time I take it, my body says, thank you.
This is the first winter that I went through that I didn't get a cold.
I love my fruits and veggies. I'm a line dancer, and I just turned 78, and it has made a big difference in my stamina and just my overall well-being, and I have so enjoyed them. I just love taking them and what they do for me.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Dave Geiselhart, president and owner of Home Trust Mortgage and customer of Signature Bank. When the large banks turned away from the mortgage lending industry during the financial crisis, I turned to locally owned Signature Bank. Signature Bank stepped in and helped me expand our business at a time when the larger banks wouldn't. Today, I'm proud to say Home Trust Mortgage has been able to expand our business in Illinois and the Great Lakes region. We couldn't have done that without the help of Signature Bank. Signature Bank truly helps Chicago businesses like mine grow and thrive. That's why we also became personal customers and shareholders of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Message and data rates may apply.
Have you ever forgotten your password? With all the accounts you have and all the rules around passwords, remembering every single one is impossible. That's why millions of people are turning to Dashlane, the award-winning app that protects your passwords and creates an easy, secure way to access all of your accounts. And right now, you can get access to Dashlane free for life on your favorite device just by texting SECURE to 543-543. Over 6 million users manage their passwords with Dashlane. Over 6,000 companies trust Dashlane. And over 70,000 reviews give it a 5-star rating. But the only number that really matters? 0. Because that's how many times you'll forget your passwords using Dashlane. With Dashlane, your passwords are never misplaced and never forgotten. Simple, safe, secure. Unlock free access to Dashlane on your favorite device for life right now. Just text SECURE to 543-543. That's SECURE to 543-543.
AM 560, The Answer. Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Property freeze frame. Property tax freeze frame. Yeah. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson here celebrating the suicide mission that the state of Illinois is on right now. Hell-bent on killing itself after the vote yesterday. 15 Republicans voting for that.
Yeah,
yesterday,
the greatest underwriters of failure in the world. It's called the Illinois Citizen. You keep failing, we'll keep paying.
Yeah.
And we keep sending Republicans there, and what do?
The Senate, well, of course, there's a super majority in the Senate. Thompson. I was joking on Twitter that I was wondering if, like Thompson, when he got down on his knees in the legislature to get the new Comiskey voted, He was begging for. I was wondering if Rauner would do that. He didn't, but he said he will veto.
Yeah, the whole time he had the legal fee on the contract on the negotiations of the contracts. Always an end.
Wait a minute,
Come on,
Thompson,
he's a scoundrel. Scoundrel. If he was any good at his job, we wouldn't be in this predicament.
Well, there is a history of Republican governors who went along with all this.
Another
the
Republican.
gravy train.
Yeah.
Jim
Another
Edgar.
Republican in panties. Victoria's real secret.
You made me think of that old painting of Harold Washington in panties as well. Now I'm thinking of politicians in
People
panties.
are eating breakfast. Will
I
you
mean,
cut
they're
it
all
out?
panty waists. I know that. All right, coming up after the break, we're going to take your calls, 312-642-5600, if you want to kvetch a little bit about the Illinois legislature or talk about Donald Trump. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Mike Scott.
2 suburban school employees reportedly killed in a Wisconsin plane crash. We'll get reaction from that investigation. A violent 4th of July long holiday weekend has started in Chicago, and 4 hurt in a sweeping Chicago fire. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
He's tweeting again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. But what President Trump posted this morning's less inflammatory, writing, interesting things are happening. That he spoke to the King of Saudi Arabia about peace in the Middle East. And he tweets he'll talk to France and Italy and Germany. Last night, the president was on the phone with the leaders of China and Japan discussing the North Korean threat, though China's president spoke of negative factors hurting U.S. and Chinese relations. This after a Trump tweet yesterday caused controversy. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the tweet is a doctored wrestling video of President Trump throwing down a man with the CNN logo superimposed on his head. Republican Senator Ben Sasse told the network's State of the Union program he understands the president's frustration with the media, but cautioned.
The First Amendment is the beating heart of the American experiment, and you don't get to separate the freedoms that are in there.
Homeland Security Advisor Tom Bossert on ABC's This Week.
Whatever the content of that particular tweet is, or any tweet, he's demonstrated a genuine ability to communicate to the people.
Bossert added he doesn't believe anyone would perceive the video as a threat. Dave.
Rachel, there were protests across America. They were outside the president's estate in Florida. They protested in New York City calling for the president's impeachment, but in some areas, pro-Trump rallies also popped up to counter all that. He was in L.A.
I'm stoked at the way the country's going. The ban went into effect. Yeah, I'm happy about all that.
A deadly disaster on a German highway this morning. Fox's Simon Owen details it all live.
Dave, one of Germany's deadliest road accidents. 18 are feared killed after a bus rear-ended a truck and burst into flames. German police calling it a tragic accident. Another 30 people were injured. By the time firefighters managed to put out the flames, the bus was just a charred skeleton. It's thought it was carrying a tour group of senior citizens. Dave.
This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
67 degrees this morning. We have winds north at 3 miles an hour and storms crossing through Lake Forest and Waukegan. Some cracks of thunder and rain this morning. Here on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott in your Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage Warranty. The investigation continues at this hour following a small plane crash over the weekend in Price County, Wisconsin that killed 6, including 2 educators and school employees from Bensonville. Authorities say that small Cessna had left from Waukegan and was heading to Canada on a fishing trip. NTSB investigator Alex Lemishko says there were 6 on board that plane.
Knowing what happened, we don't know that yet. We are in the fact-finding stage, and we could not know that for several months.
The NTSB saying there was discussion between the pilot of that plane and controllers about a local weather phenomenon soon after the aircraft dropped off the radar. Now, 2 of the victims were identified as Thomas DeMauro and Charles Tomlitz, 2 elementary school employees, as we said, from Bensonville. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, citing a Facebook post on the site of the Tioga Elementary School in Bensonville, says DeMauro led physical education. Tomlitz was a maintenance director. Chicago police are dealing with a violent 4th of July weekend. 49 shot across the city. 4 victims have died. The family of a Chicago man killed by police in a shooting over the weekend on the west side is demanding answers. Quintek Locke was shot by an officer late Saturday night following an armed confrontation near Costner and Cermak. Police investigators say an AK-47 and a handgun were recovered at the scene. Locke's family wants body camera footage released to the public. 4 are hospitalized following a fire on Chicago's near north side. Blaze began yesterday morning inside an apartment near Oak in Orleans. The cause remains under investigation. Cubs avoid the 3-game sweep with a 6-2 win over the Reds in Cincinnati. 2 home runs for Ian Happ. Yolmer Sanchez's home run in the bottom of the 8th powered the White Sox to a 6-5 win over the Rangers. Cubs closer Wade Davis, Sox outfielder Avisail Garcia going to the All-Star game. Your winner at the LPGA Championships at Olympia Fields, Danielle Kang. The news service of Napa Auto Parts this month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. The Napa Legend battery comes with a $15 prepaid Visa card by mail. So start every drive with a Legend. Save yourself some money with a Napa Legend battery. 7:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity doesn't see the dots connecting.
There is a clear and present danger that the country is now facing, and I'm calling it a soft coup. You have the whole Russia collusion. They're now saying no evidence of Russian collusion. Okay, so what do we have? And, well, we can't get them here. Well, now we'll move on to, is there obstruction?
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
With Quicken Loans, the outdated and complicated mortgage process is a thing of the past. Our simple process helps you understand all the details so you can be confident that you're getting the right mortgage. Take your mortgage to the next level and call 800-QUICKEN or go completely online with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. No matter how you prefer to work with us, we've got what you need to get you through the mortgage process with ease. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Whether you're looking to purchase or refinance, now is the time. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.23%. Call 800-QUICKEN or get started online at rocketmortgage.com. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
7:06. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim this week, here's Dominic Fortini.
Happy to report no major problems across our Chicago area expressways and roads. A very light Monday morning commute with most folks getting an early jump on the holiday weekend. Edens and Kennedy, very quiet this morning. Kennedy in at 20 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 10 in from Montrose, 8 in the inbound express. Your delay-free outbound. 10 minutes downtown to Montrose, 20 out to O'Hare. Eisenhower and Stevenson looking good in both directions. Inbound Stevenson in 34 minutes between 3:55 and the drive. Just a quick tap of the brakes on the inbound side of the Ryan at this point of the morning as you approach Roosevelt into the Burns Circle overall. Not much of a hassle. 17 minutes 95th in, 15 minutes on the outbound ride back out to 95th. I-57 Bishop Ford and our Illinois tollways all incident-free. Next traffic update in about 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, partly sunny, high 80. Tonight, mainly clear, low 62. Tomorrow, more clouds than sun, high 84. And a mostly cloudy night, low 65. Showers and a thunderstorm Wednesday, high 86. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
67 at O'Hare, 66 along the lakefront. And again, we're tracking some storms heading across the area. Waukegan to the east, Lake Forest to the east, and heading out over the lake right now, where your water temp is 66. Your next news update at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson filling in this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf at Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. It's what are we calling this, Sean?
It is the Independence Day extravaganza extraordinaire.
Certainly is. And we'd like you to join in. Give us a call on the turnkey.pro answer line, 312-642-5600. I'd like to call in myself because I'd like to get on my high horse right now. May I make a point here? Or go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I've got a beef with you.
What is that?
I participate in the Dan and Amy show. I call up. I point them in the right direction, when they start to wander a little bit. How come you don't call in?
I'm Bruce Wolf. Have you seen my Twitter handle?
Here we
Chicago TV radio legend.
Yeah.
I am not a caller. And I suggest you not call anymore either. You're above that. You're not a caller
I'm
anymore.
always a caller.
You're a
first and
host.
foremost.
You got
I'm
to think
trapped
of yourself
in the
as
worst
a caller.
governed state in the country. We've got a lot of griping to do.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. You can call in about that. We're griping about the 15 Republican turncoats who voted in favor of the tax hike. This Trump thing, CNN, I keep looking up at the video monitor up here at CNN, and it's nothing but this tweet that he had yesterday where he shows that he's wrestling somebody from CNN, supposedly. I mean, it's a sophomoric thing, but the font, the headline on CNN says, President Trump attacks CNN literally. No, it's figuratively. He didn't literally attack CNN. He didn't actually hit a guy. But that's how stupid they are.
But it's brilliant, too, because it shouldn't be called fake news. It should become strategically deceitful news because we're all talking about this. In the meantime, the bell-bottom is on his way to the G20. That's kind of important, but we don't want to talk about any of that.
Well, if I may, I'd like to continue the discussion about that because it's easier. It's not as sophisticated, and it's something that I can understand. Before that, of course, he had attacked this low-rated cable show, Morning Joe, with Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. And, that was sophomoric, too, because he talked about her facelift, alleged facelift. And I myself, have an issue.
Have you had a facelift?
Do I look like I have?
Oh, you look wonderful. You really do.
Right.
You got
Don't
a full
I have
head of hair.
Bags under
yeah,
my
but
eyes
that's,
a little bit?
what are you going to do?
Oh, thanks. I have bags under my eyes.
What are you, like 65? You're 1,000 years old.
There I am. I am.
But the irony of Donald Trump talking about a woman in plastic surgery, is there a woman around him that hasn't been inundated?
Sure.
They're all science experiments. Are you nuts? Have you seen them all?
And loving it. I mean, Melania looks well preserved. Not Melania. Oh, yeah, it is Melania. Whatever. I was confusing her with Malia and Sasha. Mary-Kate and Ashley, the Obama twins. But anyway, before that, he had before the Trump tweet yesterday, he had attacked Morning Joe's Mika Brzezinski. And I had a problem with Trump when he drove his golf cart on his own putting green. I realize he owns the golf course, but to me, you do not desecrate the face of a putting green. Mika Brzezinski's face, I really don't care about. The problem is it's hard to care about Mika Brzezinski because, as are you familiar with this TV radio columnist, Robert Feeder, used to work for the Sun-Times and now works for the Daily Herald. Anyway, a few months ago, there was this whole cache of Rahm Emanuel emails that came out, and he went through them and looked at the ones involving the media. And one of them came from Mika Brzezinski, all right, the Morning Joe host.
I never liked her father. I don't know.
Oh, sure. Leonid Brezhnev, right?
Same thing.
Yeah. Subject, my mother's sculpture. And this is, Dear Rahm, to Rahm Emanuel. Apparently, my mother's sculpture has been crossed off the Chicago Parks Department short list. This is disappointing news. All of this happened after a visit by Mike Kelly to her studio, a trip by her publicist to meet with Mike Dimitrov, and Mike Kelly survey the specs available. It goes on, and it's about, can you do me a favor, Rahm, and help expedite this thing? Well, here's the problem. Mika Brzezinski works for NBC.
And the people of Chicago are paying whatever price they'd come to terms with.
Well, here's the thing. You're violating journalistic ethics. You're not supposed to ask a politician for a favor if you work in the news business.
Really?
No, you're not supposed to do it. It's a violation of your
and explain the Greek
basic
midget.
Ethics.
What about the Greek midget that worked for the Clintons? What the hell's his name?
Stephanopoulos?
Bingo. They're all interchangeable. The media is the media for Democrats is the Halliburton for Republicans. It has revolving doors in and out of it. They just come back in it. It's the same, and the Republicans do it too. Look at Fox News lately. Come on.
She did this with impunity. I haven't heard anybody talk about this except me. Robert Feeder wrote about it. Even he didn't even mention it when the Mika thing came up the other day that, hey, look, I came up with what the scum that she is. Because, of course, he's probably anti-Trump as well and doesn't even want to trumpet his own scoop. But here, this is absolutely horrendous. It's outrageous that she did this kind of thing. And so how can you have sympathy for this woman when Trump makes fun of her alleged face? I don't understand.
Here's the thing, though. That comment is so out. Listen. I always think about what he did with Ted Cruz's wife, how he attacked Carly Fiorina. This is his shtick. Forget about what I'm saying, your wife's a dog. Forget about what I'm saying, look at the face on you. I mean, it's a Don Rickles. Hello, dummy. It's the same thing. So, I'm not shocked. It's just as ridiculous as him stiff-arming McMahon. It's the same. We've been dragged down to this level.
Right.
Yet I'm supposed to, and then when the Republicans, like, you'll hear hosts from coast to coast, the national hosts, you got to respect The Office. The Office is a joke. It's a punchline. I got a bad lease on a lemon, and I can't wait till it's over with. And the problem is that's interchangeable. Whether it's Obama or Trump or Bush, it's a bad lease on a lemon, and we've been victimized by our own government.
I actually think Trump is doing the country a favor because he's demystifying the office of the presidency. If we want a king and queen, let's make Barack and Michelle Obama the king and queen. Here's what Donald Trump said a couple of days ago at a veterans rally.
Benjamin Franklin reminded his colleagues at the Constitutional Convention to begin by bowing their heads in prayer. I remind you that we're going to start saying Merry Christmas again.
Yeah, go to the turnbuckle.
So I didn't have a problem with that.
When in doubt, go to the turnbuckle. It's July. You're plagiarizing
Christmas in July.
I mean, come on. Because you have to go to that because
But it was at a veterans rally, so why is he, as
because
our crack producer Keith pointed out on Twitter, I mean, this was a veterans rally. What did this? I didn't even like when he had the Cubs behind him a few days ago and he started talking about repealing Obamacare because that you shouldn't get political when the Cubs are there. But this is what he does. He talks about himself. He talks about whatever he wants to do.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Keeps your eye off the ball. Don't worry. You're going to love the infrastructure that I did that doubles down on Obama's. You're going to love the socialized medicine.
We'll take your calls at 312-642-5600 on the turnkey.pro answer line. And post-haste after this introductory music, we will hear Sean give us the weather.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560, The Answer.
Well, today it's going to get up to 80. It's going to be a good day for golf. Partly sunny, so you won't get too burnt. Tonight, down to 62. Tomorrow, same thing. If you can't get a tee time today, get it tomorrow. Wednesday, you're not going to want it unless you golf like Bruce because you have an excuse to shoot really bad. It's going to rain throughout the day, thunderstorms, and showers. Now we're going to go to my guy, Dom Fortini.
If you're making your way to the golf course today, not going to find too many people out and about. Edens and Kennedy so far moving well, 20 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 10 in from the Junction 8 and the inbound express. Eisenhower and Stevenson still plenty quiet this morning. Outbound Stevenson 24 minutes from the drive to the Tri-State. 34 after making the trip out to 355. Inbound Ryan, just a quick tap of the brakes right around Roosevelt, 17 minutes. 95th in a downtown, only 15 on the outbound trip. I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive. Even Jane Addams, the eastbound, rolling well this morning. No major hassles along 80 or on the Indiana Toll Road either. Next traffic update in about 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, Joshi, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
So, what would you do with an extra $500 a month in your budget? $500. This isn't hypothetical, by the way. This is something you may need to think about very soon if you decide to become a member of MediShare. MediShare is a way to pay for your health care, and typically it costs $500 less per month for a family versus other health care plans. So seriously, think about this. You could pay off loans, pay down a mortgage, save the money for retirement, donate to charity. That would be a big deal. But you know what? Here's the best thing. MediShare works. It has 250,000 members, and it's growing fast. With MediShare, not only do you save, you don't have to pay for things you don't believe in either, and that is a beautiful thing too. So here's how you can find out more, and you might actually wind up saving even more than $500 a month. So check into it. Here's the number. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. Now available in Montana. Call 844-41-BIBLE.
AM 560, The Answer.
Let not your heart be troubled. Listen to me, Sean Hannity. I'll have the latest news and what it all means for you. It's coming up at 2 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson, in for Dan and Amy on an Independence Day extravaganza. You can call us at 312-642-5600. The Turnkey.pro answer line. Sean, shall we take a call here? Let's go.
Let's
go to Mark in Joliet. Hi, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Bruce and Sean, and happy Independence Day to you.
You too.
You too.
Every time I see a picture of Mika and Morning Joe, and this has been for quite a while, it reminds me of that cartoon from MTV in the 80s, Beavis and Butthead. I swear to God, if there were human people, that would be them.
Well, you know, this guy, this.
Thank you, Mark.
Pretend argument is the greatest thing to happen to these two. No one ever watched their show. I mean,
they love it. They actually delayed their vacation to come back the next day.
No one even knew they were going on vacation. Who cares? Now all of a sudden they're the lead of every story.
No,
brilliant.
It's not presidential to do that.
Let's go to my
make
guy
fun
Tom.
Of them. We will. We will. Sure, if I may. Can I call in and get in?
Call
on
in.
The action
Go
a second?
ahead.
No, remember when Obama blamed Rush Limbaugh for the Oklahoma City disaster? Did he think he inspired Timothy McVeigh? I mean, not Obama. Clinton did that. So, presidents are always getting blamed. Let's go to Tom. Hello, Tom, from River Forest.
How are you?
Good morning.
Now, Tom,
how are you?
Good. I want to set you up because you're going to quote one of my favorite guys. He's not. The Austrian economists are the ones who we should point to whenever we're in disarray, whenever we're in trouble. And you're going to one of my favorites, the guy who turned around a despotic socialist country like Chile. Can definitely his
Chile.
wisdom. Whatever.
We're Americans. We say Chile. I was watching the Chile-Germany soccer match yesterday for the FIFA Cup.
My
no,
God.
because I have a relative
Someone
from Brazil.
get him the riddle in, for God's sakes. Tom wants to make a comment.
All right, just let me finish this.
Go ahead, Tom. Hang in there.
You'll get your chance, Tom. Just a second. No, we're watching it, and my Brazilian sister-in-law calls it Chile. Well, it's Chile, according to the Chileans, but the Brazilians call it Chile. We're Americans. We call it Chile. Okay? Right. Because if we're going to call it Chile, because, we've got to, sound like we speak Spanish, then I want Israel called Eretz Yisrael by all the newscasters.
Been waiting to fit that in.
All
now
right,
we've all been pulled into Bruce's shower. Now let's back to the show.
Tom, good morning.
This is a big guy, Sean. How are you?
Good. It's Tom. This is a legend. I'll tell you. Go ahead. It's Tom Michaels. Go ahead, baby.
I want to quote Milton Friedman.
Go ahead.
He said, if the federal government was in charge of the Sahara Desert, in 5 years, there would be a shortage of sand.
There we go. Exactly.
And I'm going to tell you something. Tom is one of the greatest, most generous guys. This is an entrepreneur who has owned multiple business. One of the best. He donates his time to charity. Tom, what's the name of the charity you're involved with? I always forget. I just give you the money. What's his?
It's the Kiwanis Club, River Forest Oak Park Kiwanis Club.
And how many kids have you helped with that Kiwanis Club? What was the number of this last outing you had?
Let me just tell you one thing. Yeah. Last 2 Saturdays ago at the Shriners, we bought 12 battery-operated cars, had engineers come in and retrofit them so kids with disabilities can move their head, maybe their elbow, and drive these little cars.
Oh, that's so nice.
All done without government and all done by people giving willingly of their own free accord, which I think will always raise more money than when you seize it from people involuntarily.
Tom, happy 4th of July to you. Thanks so much for calling.
Wonderful, man.
We appreciate it. And for his patience. Because you just
putting up
with
you.
I mean, I'm right. Stop talking. You don't stop talking.
My word, I feel like we're on the Saturday Night Live skit with all the Jewish women in New York. I mean, can we get a word in edgewise? It's butter here, baby.
It's coffee talk.
Yeah, there you go. It's like coffee talk in the morning.
Yes.
My
no
word.
question about it. Hey, you want to listen to Teddy Atlas, who was doing the commentary on the Manny Pacquiao fight? Manny Pacquiao fought this guy named Australian Jeff Horn. Well, he's Jeff Horn from Australia, who was this underdog who caused Pacquiao's face to bleed during the fight, but only from Horn's own skull. Pacquiao was actually winning, won the fight. But let's listen to Teddy Atlas go nuts.
They give everybody a trophy. That's what they did tonight. They gave a trophy, a win, a huge win to Horn, the local kid, for trying hard. You're not supposed to get it for trying hard. You're supposed to get it for winning. And I thought Pacquiao won the fight. If you go by the real rules, the Marcus of Queensberry rules, who lands the cleaner punches?
I wish Teddy Atlas were commenting on what the Illinois legislature did last night because it was so outrageous. I mean, you have Republicans, Democrats, of course, are invoking Martin Luther King and JFK and all that to justify spending all this money. But the Republicans actually voted, 15 of them voted and provided, cover for Democrats who don't want to vote for this.
Exactly. But, I don't know much about sports. And, you make fun of me all the time because you are the sports legend. And I don't know much about sports. But one thing I do know, when you can infiltrate boxing with this agenda of you try hard, let's give them the victory.
You obviously do not know much about boxing.
No.
It's rigged. I mean, a lot of it has been rigged over the years.
My point is, I think it is the way in which the Soviet first infiltrated our system was through the youth. They didn't just do it through our education system. They did it through our sporting events. Because he's exactly right. I noticed this as when my kids were little. Everybody gets the trophy, and it's ingenious. Because what you do now is you make them sympathetic. The loser is as important as the winner because of the effort, because of their circumstance. So there really is no then as those people get older, it's easier to take your neighbor's possessions for your loss because you've been getting possessions, trophies for your loss your entire life.
You're accused of being a social Darwinist. Yeah. You're accused of being heartless.
It's brilliant.
Then you become Representative Lou Lang in the Illinois legislature saying, what are you talking about? We got like $300 million less than we asked for. Well, when you ask for the moon and, you never have any bottom line, of course.
The malignancy of socialism is spread through the virtue in failure and in weakness. And that's the predicament we're in now. See, these politicians, they're going to come on. They're not bad people. They're doing their best. They just failed. If we could just give them a little more money, they'll succeed. That's how you end up in serfdom. And you're driving around in the neighborhood and you still think you're on your way there. We're already
been overthrown. We're on the road to serfdom.
No, we've arrived,
I'm going to
start
calling you Hayek because you're my dog right here today.
Oh, I like it. See? Way to get Dan. way to get Dan Proff's dog in the act.
Let's take a little break right now because we have to pay some bills. It's Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on an Independence Day extravaganza.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
All right, I know you're bombarded with MyPillow ads everywhere you turn, not only from me, but on TV, billboards, and in print. But the reason is simple. It's the best pillow available. You deserve a restful and relaxing summer. And the July radio deal using my name, Amy, in the promo code is the best deal available. It's the 50% discount on a MyPillow 4-pack, including 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows for half the price. You can move the fill to give you the exact support you need regardless of sleep position. You'll sleep deep and won't wake up to a stiff neck or headache. And our good friend Mike Lindell manufactures them in America using only American labor. You can wash and dry them. They're hypoallergenic and you get a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit mypillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus major components of 20 other home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-2119. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-2119. That's 1-800-700-2119. 1-800-700-2119.
AM 560.
The Answer.
Bruce Wolf. This is a TV show thing, isn't it? Christopher Cross. Okay, that's close.
This kid's distracting you with sounds of the 70s. It's easy, boy. This kid's got your number.
Sailing. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy and Independence Day Extravaganza. We got to be on our best behavior because we actually have a guest after the break, and it's Mike Ilyazi.
He's got to know what he's talking about with a moniker like that.
He's the director of the government affairs for the American Conservative Union, and I haven't paid my dues to the ACU, so I'm. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk to him, but you will talk to him.
I'll front you the money.
Appreciate. Thanks so much, Sean. All coming up. Let's go to Mike Scott in the newsroom.
Bruce and Sean, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty, 67 officially at the half hour. The Trump administration says the president talked about the importance of regional unity in several phone calls with Gulf state leaders over the weekend. The White House stressing the president stressed concerns about continuing disputes between Qatar and some of its Gulf and Arab neighbors. Twitter is saying that the president's latest tweet against one major news organization doesn't break any rules. Social media giant telling CNN it reviewed yesterday's tweet. It showed a modified video of the president wrestling a man long ago with a newly imposed CNN logo over that man's face.
Whatever the content of that particular tweet is, or any tweet, he's demonstrated a genuine ability to communicate to the people.
That's the assessment of White House Homeland Security and Counterterror Advisor Thomas Bossert. CNN accused the Trump administration of encouraging violence against reporters. But not all Republicans were on board with the president's free tweeting. Ohio Governor John Kasich.
It's unfortunate, and people are now begging the president not to do this, and, he had to stop doing it.
Kasich on ABC's This Week. A man described as a French nationalist is in jail charged with plotting to kill the country's president on Bastille Day, July 14th. German police say at least 18 are dead after a tour bus hit a truck and burst into flames in the state of Bavaria. 30 others were severely injured and hospitalized. The NTSB is on the scene of an investigation into a small plane crash over the weekend in Price County, Wisconsin, that killed 6, including 2 from a school in Bensonville. The family of a Chicago man killed in a police shooting over the weekend on the west side is demanding answers. Quintek Locke was shot by a police officer Saturday night during an armed confrontation near Costner and Cermak. Police investigators say an AK-47 and a handgun were recovered at the scene. Brent Allen Christensen, who earned a master's degree in physics from U of I this year, is charged in the June 9 abduction of 26-year-old Yingying Zhang. Christensen remains jailed and is due to make an initial court appearance in federal court in Urbana today, not far from the University of Illinois campus, where Zhang came to from China to conduct research in agricultural science. Cubs over the Reds 6-2. Sox 6-5 winners over the Rangers. And Danielle Kang, your winner at the LPGA Championships at Olympia Fields Country Club. The news service of Cabela's. Celebrate the 4th with huge savings during Cabela's 4th of July sale. Take 50% off Quantum's solo spinning and casting rod and reel combos. Cabela's deluxe flotation vests starting at $749, plus 50% off Caravan slant leg canopies. 7:33. Check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The temperature this summer is on the rise, and everyone is talking about one person, President Donald Trump. As controversy swirls around his presidency and the Democrats and the mainstream media take aim, what will happen next? Join AM 560's Joe Walsh for the Summer of Trump, Tuesday, August 22nd at the Bolingbrook Golf Club, also featuring Hugh Hewitt and Guy Benson. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/summer. That's 560theanswer.com/summer.
Don't miss Cabela's 4th of July sale with savings on Cabela's stainless tabletop gas grill, only $99.99. And 40% off Cabela's getaway tents. Shop in store or online.
When you purchase an alarm system, you do it for one reason above all others. You need to know something about the people or property under your care. Knowing that what matters most will be looked after by professionals when you can't be there is a comforting feeling. At Alarm Detection Systems, we've learned a great deal from our decades of service. We know how to treat customers on the phone. We know that installing quality security products using certified technicians is the only way to go. We know that same-day service and local monitoring will provide the safety and peace of mind you're looking for. You no longer have to wonder if your home or business is protected by your alarm system. Know that it is. At home or on the go, the information you seek is right in your hands. It's good to be in the know. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. That's 630-844-6300 or online at adsalarm.com. Alarm license number 127000143.
7:35. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. And in for Jim this week, here's Dominic Fortini.
Some of those showers that were up in the northwest suburbs pushing off to the east and over Lake Michigan. The good news was they didn't cause too much of a problem as traffic volume remains pretty light across our Chicago area expressways this morning. Looks like folks getting an early jump on the holiday with the Edens and Kennedy rolling pretty quietly. 20 minutes on the inbound Kennedy O'Hare to downtown, 10 from the Junction 8 in the inbound Express. Looks like we're delay-free on both the Eisenhower and the Stevenson. Stevenson out 34 minutes from the drive to 355. Inbound Ryan incident-free from 95th into downtown. Schedule 15 minutes. I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive, and our Illinois tollways all moving well. Traffic's a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, the Napa Bucket for $3.99 is back. Not only will you get 25% off 3 or more items you can fit inside, but they'll also donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund with purchase. While supplies last, exclusions apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Partly sunny and 80 in your forecast. Clear and 62 overnight. More clouds than sun on your 4th of July with a high of 84. 67, mostly cloudy at O'Hare. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson filling in this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Coming up at 5 tonight, Trump is at war with the media, and it's a good thing. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson.
This is a song.
See, I don't know. Anything after 1972, I don't know. Yeah.
You're going to be all right because you're wheezing over there like an old lady. You all right? Because if you go down and you need mouth-to-mouth, you ain't going to make it.
Okay. We're in for Dan and Amy. It's an Independence Day extravaganza that we've got here. Actually, we've got to get a little serious right now. Stop the tomfoolery because we're being joined right now by Michi Ilyazi. He's the Director of Government Affairs for the American Conservative Union. Thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Hey, Bruce, Sean. Happy Independence Day. Thanks for having me, guys.
Back at you. So we're talking about the Senate health care debate, and it's tough when I get into how sausage is made. It's hard enough trying to follow the Illinois legislature now. We had this tax hike yesterday, but now the United States Senate with reconciliation and the various pyrotechnics that are used. Apparently, Rand Paul, who initially was, I believe, was against separating repeal and then replace, now has come up with this idea that we should just repeal and later replace.
Well,
and is that where it's going right now as far as the Republicans go? Or set me straight on this.
Well, I think when you talk about the sausage being made, there's a lot of things going on because the Senate caucus and the Senate GOP caucus, it's made up of a lot of different factions. And because the majority is so slim, one senator can really control a lot of influence on how legislation gets done, particularly when you have to use reconciliation, where you get one shot at it and you have to get that 50-vote threshold. So whether it's Senator Rand Paul, who's coming at it from a very conservative mindset, or Senator Susan Collins, who might be coming at it from a more moderate stance, one senator can have a lot of power. So Rand Paul has been saying, particularly after President Trump tweeted this over the weekend too, repeal now, replace later. And we have heard that from Senator Paul. But also, you do have some momentum right now on the sideline for what Senator Cruz is also asking for. He wants an amendment that will allow insurance companies to sell plans that do not comply with all of the regulations that Obamacare has on insurance, all the mandates, but only if they also plan to sell plans that do meet the requirements. So there's word that the CBO is being asked to score the new bill with that proposal in it, but also with that proposal not in it, to see how that will impact. But it's important to remember that the Congressional Budget Office, with their predictions, particularly when it comes to health insurance and Obamacare, have been historically, off. So it's okay to be skeptical and ask questions. So I think there's a lot of moving parts. Mitch McConnell has played it very close to the vest. Obviously, they delayed the vote to see if they could cobble together. But over at the American Conservative Union, we have been saying they need to get something done. They've ran on this promise of repeal and replace for 7 years. Yeah, go ahead.
They ran on repeal. See, I like what's happening. I'm not interested in the replacement. See, Michi, I don't want government to adjust its fingers on the grip around my neck. I want their hands off of me because I remember what insurance is supposed to be. It is supposed to be an agreement between me and a company to hedge my future expenses, and I want it judged on me. I'm not interested in a socialist collectivist where insurance brokers who make 15% of my premium pretend to care if it goes up or not. I want it gone. So I'm not interested. And I get Cruz's. I was a Cruz supporter early on, but I get what he's doing, and it's not going anywhere. It's a weak jab at best. I want it gone. Do I have any chance of just a strict repeal and no nonsense replacement? Because for 7 years, that's what I've been voting for, a repeal.
I'm not sure what they're going to do if they're going to do repeal now and replace later. But I think that the issue for a lot of Senate Republicans is they have put this plan together to say, well, if we're going to repeal, we have to put something on the table too. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be government control, because I'm with you. I don't want the government controlling health care. I want government involved as little as possible, as is the American Conservative Union. So I think it's important to know that what we want is a more free market approach to health care, because that's the best way. I think when consumers are empowered to make choices, the market can actually help and make sure that people are able to have their costs brought down if you have more options available. And we've seen with Obamacare really the opposite. You have a lot of mandates which have really restricted choice and competition. I mean, there are some states where people don't even have a choice, where they just have to pick one option, and that option sometimes isn't even available because they can't afford it.
We're
So there's
talking.
No question yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. We're talking with. It's my inexperience as a Chicago TV and radio legend in interviewing.
Here we
We're
go,
talking
Michi.
with
Hang on,
Michi Ilyazi of the American Conservative Union, and you mentioned like the CBO. They did a little bit of eye rolling themselves when they said that Obamacare was going to be able to pay for itself with, even though it was all the revenue was going to come in later through things like the Cadillac tax on union plans, which, of course, nobody ever intended to tax. So that's the kind of thing that you're dealing with and why you have so much trust in the government. But what about, the efficacy of this Cruz idea? Is this far-fetched, or is Sean says it really is going to go nowhere?
I think Sean has a great point because there are some people who just don't want to have choice and competition. But I think what Senator Cruz is trying to say is the biggest problem with Obamacare for a lot of people are those mandates, are those requirements, particularly for people because they don't have options available or they feel like they're buying a health care plan with all of these things that they don't need in it. There are many people that I know who are younger who say, you know what, I just want to be able to buy insurance that's affordable, that covers what I need, as opposed to buying a plan that meets 20 different sets of bullet points, and then 19 of them don't even apply to you. So I think there's some merit to presenting an idea like that. But again, we get into this situation where Republicans are really, they're not doing well on messaging, and they're really shooting themselves in the foot when they meld themselves to the CBO like it's Godspeed. And that's just not true, because what we've seen from CBO, as you said, they've been historically wrong, not just on the cost, but most importantly when we talk about coverage. And when the CBO talks about coverage, they're really wedded to the individual mandate like it's, important. But what we've seen is the individual mandate hasn't been effective except in taxing people, because there have been a lot of people who have said, you know what, I'm just not going to buy insurance. So the CBO was very wrong, millions of people, actually, millions of signups. And when they use that baseline that was wrong to begin with to start predicting a new bill, I think it's important to be able to ask questions. And the other thing is, to all the people that they say are going to, quote, lose their insurance, no, that's not true. There are many people who will just decide not to buy it.
Well, that's losing according to the Democrats. And, of course, we know that they were off on, when they talk about, the 20 or 30 million or 40 million, whatever estimate they want to come up with, when the real number is probably more like 5 million. And there's so many safeguards built into this. But, it's Elizabeth Warren, it's blood money, and it's Hillary Clinton. The Republicans are a death party. And it's, the CBO may as well be doing global warming modeling as well, Sean.
Yeah, see, Miche, he just stole my time. You see what he did there? Because here's what I want to ask you. You're ahead of this conservative union. You're in this conservative union, and here's my thing. I don't like when Republicans hide little things called the stabilization fund, which is a backdoor bailout before there's ever a loss to insurance companies. I noticed the fact that Blue Cross Blue Shield doesn't hate Obamacare. In fact, it's been its greatest fundraiser. It's been its greatest advocate, its greatest salesman. So what I want is just government out of the insurance business, because we all have a pre-existing condition called life. No one gets out alive, Miche. Just leave me alone and don't seize my money for the kid next door who stuffs cream puffs down his throat the whole time while I'm hitting the gym. You follow me?
Thank you, Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, go ahead, Michi.
Yeah, I think he makes a great point, because again, when we talk about the more government control and the more special interests, the harder it's getting for consumers. And I think it's important to remember that when we talk about Obamacare, you're right. The bailout for insurance companies is something that's obviously a terrible idea. It's not something that should be supported by anyone who believes in limited government control. And another risk with that is that we feed into this idea of cronyism, particularly with Republicans, when the whole mindset is with President Trump's election, obviously, and Republicans getting the majority, that those days are over. So I think it's important to make strides to make sure that the government is less involved in your life, whether it's through health care or whatever it may be. And obviously there are some people who do need a safety net, but there are also just the fact that people want to be able to buy something that works for them. They don't want to be forced to buy something that they can't afford, and really, to be honest, that doesn't meet the needs of what they or their family want. And I think that's what's most important, that healthcare has to empower the consumer if we're ever going to get back to a place where people are satisfied with their coverage and they're able to pay the cost of it. And that's a big thing. I think that's really important for the American people.
Yeah. And then on the other hand, they want single payer. They talk out of both sides of their mouth.
I don't want that.
Thank you for preaching to the choir when we needed it on this Independence Day extravaganza. Thanks so much for joining us, Michi Ilyazi, Director of Government Affairs for the American Conservative Union.
Thanks, guys. Have a nice 4th of July.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
And now it's time for the weather. Today, partly sunny, high 80 degrees. It's going to be great. I'll have no excuses when I shoot above 90. Tonight, mainly clear, low 62. Tomorrow, a mirror image of today, a little more clouds. Then Wednesday, all hell breaks loose. Thunderstorms, lightning. It's going to be terrible. But in the meantime, Dom Fortini will get you through the traffic where all the liberals are screwing it up.
Not so much this morning. Things are looking good out and about. Very light traffic volume on the Edens and the Kennedy. 20 minutes on the inbound Kennedy O'Hare to downtown. 10 from the Junction 8 and the inbound Express. Smooth ride on the inbound side of the Eisenhower. 29 minutes from Thorndale into the post office. Stevenson looking good. 34 minutes for the drive back to 355. On the Ryan, 15 minutes in between 95th and downtown, looking good and incident-free in both directions. I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive, and our Illinois tollways, as well as I-94 in Indiana, getting the early thumbs up. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Tasty Catering is bringing outdoor happiness to you and your coworkers this picnic season.
Down-home barbecue, street tacos, sausages and sandwiches, steaks, chops, fish, Greek feasts, pig roasts. The list goes on.
Tasty Catering picnic foods are more deliciously sophisticated than ever. With so many great options, everyone will be happy.
Organic, gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, and dairy-free options never tasted so picnicky.
And your picnic doesn't stop with amazing freshly grilled food. Entertainment, rentals, decor, venue selection. Get everything you need with one single call to Tasty Catering.
Inflatables and crafts for the kids, games and athletics for the teenagers, beverage packages and entertainment options for the adults. There's so much to choose from.
The best company picnics start at tastycatering.com. View picnic menus, entertainment options, picnic spots, and more. Visit tastycatering.com. tastycatering.com. On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Once I started drinking, it was on. I was so depressed. I drank by myself every night. It wasn't just me that was a problem. There was a chemical imbalance that had to be taken care of as well.
The fact is, a large percentage of alcohol and drug abusers have underlying psychological issues that are the root of their problem, including depression, ADHD, anxiety, bipolar, and eating disorders. But most addiction treatment centers are not qualified to treat these conditions. At Sovereign Health, we're different. Our patients are supported by a team of real doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, and addiction specialists who can properly diagnose and treat the addiction problem.
It's been almost 3 years now that I've been sober. I learned that there is life outside of the walls of the depression and the drinking.
Struggling with addiction? Get help now. Call Sovereign Health. The consultation is free and most insurance plans accepted. Call 800-417-4842. That's 800-417-4842. 800-417-4842.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-900-1904. That's 1-800-900-1904. 1-800-900-1904.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I've been on vitamins, I've been on all kinds of supplements, but nothing has come close to your product. The difference between before I started the product and afterwards is like night and day. I do have more energy, and that was what I really was after. I get all these benefits. It's wonderful. I had no energy at all, and I thought, how can I live this way? I do one little chore, and then I have to sit and rest. And I find that I get through the day pretty well, and I really have more energy. I look in the mirror and I say, I think I feel more alive. I think I look more alive.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Let's face it, most people don't look forward to taking their car in for repairs, but regular maintenance is crucial to preserving the investment you've made in your car. At Midwest Performance Cars, we take the pain out of maintaining your European vehicle by performing a thorough 40-point digital inspection complete with pictures. We will send your car's report and our written estimate out to you by email, text message, or phone, so you can be confident in our recommendations and can see for yourself what your car needs. We repair, road test, and wash your vehicle in preparation for pickup, then take the time to explain exactly what work was performed. We'll even remind you when your next service is due. Leave the responsibility for your vehicle maintenance up to us. At Midwest Performance Cars, we're looking out for the health of your Porsche, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, or other European nameplate. In Chicago at 1385 West Lake Street, book your appointment online at MidwestPerformanceCars.com or call us at 312-432-9492. And coming this summer, we will be opening our second MPC location in Northbrook, Illinois.
How can you get a better grasp on what your portfolio looks like for retirement? Tabota & Associates just might have the technology to help you answer that question. Jack Tabota and the team at Tabota & Associates builds retirement plans custom fit for you using a variety of insurance and investment products. At Tabota & Associates, no 2 retirement plans are the same, and they can use a tool called Riskalyze to show what your risk tolerance number is. Once you have it, you'll have a better understanding of how much risk you can take on and if your current portfolio is exposing you to potential losses that you cannot afford. Why not let the team at Tabota & Associates do the heavy lifting for you? 630-777-7955. That's 630-777-7955. Take some of the guesswork out of planning and riskalyze your retirement portfolio today. Tabota & Associates, 630-777-7955. Investments involve risk, including the potential loss of principal invested. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
AM 560. The Answer. Get your tickets for the Summer of Trump on August 22nd, hosted by Joe Walsh and featuring Hugh Hewitt and Guy Benson. Go to 560theanswer.com/summer.
Man,
must be somebody's baby.
See? Easy now with your thong on backwards, hitting the high notes, for God's sakes. Are you
Bruce
kidding
Wolf
me?
and Sean Thompson on Dependence Day, because that's what the Illinois legislature voted for yesterday, eternal dependence on the state. And, of course, the state's going down the drain. But
Well, the only win for we the people is if it delays these frauds from marching in the 4th of July Day parades, where these failures, these scoundrels who want to do nothing but seize your property, pretend they're patriots, and they walk in there holding hands with each other. It's sickening. Nauseates me.
So today actually would be like June 33rd, because the legislature is supposed to end its session on June 30th. So I'm not even saying it's July 3rd.
Well,
today it's June 33rd, as far as I'm concerned. You know who we got coming up after the break?
Who?
We got Michael Lucci. At Chicago Lucci is his Twitter handle, and he's from the Illinois Policy Institute, which I believe is one of Dan Prof's shell companies.
Good. Well, I hope he comes on and announces that Prof is going to primary round her. That's what I'm pulling for. Throw everyone out. 15 scoundrels, Republicans, voted to raise your taxes. But they got your best interest in mind. They just need a little more money, a little more time. Everything's going to be
What is
great.
your problem with Governor Rauner?
I don't like being lied to. If I'm going to get lied to, I want it to be by somebody in cleavage and a strip joint. That's it.
He wanted to come up with a property tax freeze. There's nothing in this legislation about pension reform or anything.
Well, then you tell me how the property taxes are calculated, because you just had the guy buy the house for $32,000. He's paying taxes on $98,000.
Right.
So who's the calculator?
Wheel.
Yeah. And then you'll have Kathleen Willis come out on a flyer and say she's got your best interest in heart. The only thing I need her for is if I sprain an ankle, I could soak my feet in her belly button. Other than that, she's useless.
You conjure up quite a nasty image there.
I don't like
Kathleen
liars.
Willis. Oh, I was thinking of Kathleen Willie, the one whose cat was killed by the Clintons, allegedly.
Another Madigan sycophant that never achieved anything, but he told you to vote for her, and a bunch of Democrats said, yeah, put her in, she'll be great. Hamburglar.
Look, Madigan got 15 Republicans to vote to provide cover for the Democrats. There's this Democrat, I think his name is
because
Ying
they're all
or whatever.
in on this scam.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? These Republicans, all they need is a little campaign contribution. Then they'll change their mind. They're going to fight for you.
Those 15. Now, we'll talk to Lucci about this, the mechanics, how the sausage is made when Rauner does veto this, about the override possibilities. But, you got 15 Republicans who are turncoats.
Throw them out. Everybody primary them. And if you can't beat them in the primary, don't vote. Because they're not doing you a favor. There's no difference between them and the guy who says he's your enemy. None.
All right. We'll be talking to Mr. Lucci of the Illinois Policy Institute, the Dan Proft Shell organization, among many that he has. He gets around. And that'll be coming up post-haste after the news with Mike Scott.
Bruce and Sean, here are the stories we're watching at this hour. 2 suburban school employees killed in a Wisconsin plane crash. The NTSB continuing to investigate. 4 hurt in a Chicago fire. Cubs cut down the Reds, and the White Sox beat the Rangers. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
The White House pushes back. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The media have now moved on from Russia to cover themselves.
Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, says the media is trying to interfere with the president, trying to communicate directly to the people on Twitter. After a tweet yesterday caused an uproar, a video of the president from an old WWE wrestling show body slamming someone with a CNN logo imposed on his face.
I'm hoping that that his family's going to talk to him and they'll say, knock it off.
Republican governor from Ohio, John Kasich, on ABC's This Week. There are more President Trump tweets this morning. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, as President Trump prepares for the G20 summit this week, he says he's talking with world leaders. The president tweeted this morning that he will be speaking with Germany, France, and Italy today, and he spoke yesterday with the King of Saudi Arabia about peace in the Middle East. He also discussed the North Korea threat with the leaders of China and Japan, and he tweeted about what he calls fake news, saying it will be forced to discuss, quote, our great jobs numbers, strong economy, success with ISIS, the border, and so much else. Dave.
Now, Rachel, the president's also staying involved in the discussion over health care as the Senate, which is off this week, deals with a bill to replace Obamacare that is stalled. Budget showdowns have led to partial government shutdowns in Maine and New Jersey, where Governor Chris Christie has ordered the legislature into session to pass a budget as the Republican spars with Democrats over health care. He's also taken heat for being photographed on a beach that's closed to the public in the shutdown. Christie says they are staying at a governor's residence there.
I'm sure they're going to get a Pulitzer for this one because they actually proved they caught me doing what I said I was going to do with the people I said I was going to be with.
They needed rescue helicopters. In Germany, after a fiery crash on a Bavarian highway, a bus slammed into a truck. 18 people believed dead, 30 others injured. The wreckage twisted and charred black. Forensic specialists are needed to ID the bodies. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
67 degrees, mostly cloudy skies in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. An investigation is underway following a plane crash over the weekend in Price County, Wisconsin, that killed 6. Authorities say a small Cessna went down Saturday near Phillips. The aircraft had left from Waukegan and was heading to Canada on a fishing trip. NTSB investigator Alex Lemishko says 6 on board were killed when it crashed. 2 of the victims identified as Thomas DeMauro and Charles Tomlitz, elementary school employees from Bensonville. The NTSB now investigating whether weather may have been a cause of the crash.
Knowing what happened, we don't know that yet. We are in the fact-finding stage, and we could not know that for several months.
Lemishko says there was discussion between the pilot of that plane and air traffic controllers about a local weather phenomenon. Soon afterward, the aircraft dropped off radar. Chicago police dealing with another violent 4th of July weekend. 49 people shot across the city last night. 4 of those victims have died. Illinois lawmakers back to work after a vote in the House Sunday to dramatically increase income taxes by 32%. Attention turns to the Senate today as the budget measures the House endorsed move to that chamber. Republican Governor Bruce Rauner already promising to end the discussion with a veto. 4 are hospitalized following a fire on Chicago's near north side. The blaze beginning yesterday in an apartment building near Oak and Orleans. Cubs avoid the 3-game sweep with a 6-2 win over the Reds in Cincinnati. White Sox 6-5 winners over the Rangers. Cubs closer Wade Davis and White Sox outfielder Avisail Garcia going to the All-Star game. The news service of Cabela's celebrate the 4th with huge savings during Cabela's 4th of July sale. Take 50% off Quantum Solo Spinning and Casting Rod and Reel combos. Cabela's Deluxe Flotation Vest beginning at $749 plus 50% off Caravan Slant Leg Canopies. It's 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, a short day of trading on Wall Street. Stocks ending the second quarter with slight gains. Industrial stocks and consumer-focused companies were among the gainers. And remember Samsung's recall Galaxy Note 7, the devices that were prone to overheating and catching on fire? The electronics maker is planning to recycle and sell the devices starting this week in South Korea. The Galaxy Note FE phone will be sold for $611. Samsung saying the Note FE has perfect safety, unlike the recalled versions. And French dairy company Danone has agreed to sell its U.S. dairy business Stonyfield to Lactalis for $875 million. This is a move designed to address competition concerns stemming from its acquisition of U.S. organic food group White Wave. Danone and White Wave together have big chunks of the yogurt market with brands including Dannon, Wallaby, and Horizon Organic. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Hillary Barsky.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder has some tough talk for Democrats.
The people that are having all this angst about Trump, these Obama people, the ones that are described in the Washington Post, ask them what they would do. Essentially, it's taking money from productive people and giving it to other people. That's what they want to do. And the American people are not down with that. You are clueless.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
With Quicken Loans, the outdated and complicated mortgage process is a thing of the past. Our simple process helps you understand all the details so you can be confident that you're getting the right mortgage. Take your mortgage to the next level and call 800-QUICKEN or go completely online with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. No matter how you prefer to work with us, we've got what you need to get you through the mortgage process with ease. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Whether you're looking to purchase or refinance, now is the time. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.23%. Call 800-QUICKEN or get started online at rocketmortgage.com. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
8:07 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Dominic Fortini is in for Jim Talamonte this week.
Starting to see a pickup in traffic volume, but that's not causing too much of a delay as folks get an early start to their holiday week out up in the northwest suburbs in the Barrington area. We have a malfunctioning railroad crossing along Route 59. A little bit north of Lake Cook Road. In Lake Barrington, watch for crews dealing with a crash along Half Day at Harbor Drive, and in Hazel Crest, a new accident near 167th and Wood. Our area expressways, though, those still moving pretty well. Edens and Kennedy are pretty quiet. 20 minutes on the inbound Kennedy O'Hare to downtown. 10 from the Junction 8 in the inbound express. Delay free on both the Eisenhower and even the Stevenson this morning. Inbound Stevenson in 34 minutes between 3:55 and the drive. Ryan inbound at 15 minutes, 95th in. And crews finally working a car fire. It's blocking off the right lane on the southbound side of the 87th. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. AirComfort.com providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Partial sunshine throughout the day today with a high of 80. Then for tonight, turning out to be mainly clear with a low 62. Independence Day tomorrow. More clouds than sun throughout the day, high of 84. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
67 at O'Hare, 66 along the lakefront. Your next news update, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson filling in this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 5 p.m. on AM 560, explore the wonderful world of wine with host James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson. Like Scott mentioned, in for Dan and Amy. It's our Independence Day extravaganza.
Yeah.
Happy Independence Day Eve.
Now, did you hit the button and cause that noise that almost blew my eardrum out? Was that you?
I did.
Because I know you like to touch the buttons. You like to play with the buttons, pretend you're the captain here.
I do.
It's temporary,
I
baby.
like to make it a technical workshop here. So yesterday, the Illinois legislature, in its infinite wisdom, passed a tax hike because, we supposedly have to pay our bills. I don't know how many bills are actually going to be paid. As a result of that, I don't see any commensurate reforms, property tax freeze, pension reform, workers' comp reform, any of that. Governor Rauner supposedly he is going to veto the bill, but what are the chances of an override? Well, let's get a little inside baseball look into this, Sean, by bringing on our next guest, who is Michael Lucci. You can access him via Twitter, @ChicagoLucci. He's the Vice President of Policy at the Dan Proft Shell Group called the Illinois Policy Institute, I believe. Michael, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
So what are the odds? What's going to happen? Just give us the scenario.
I think what's most likely to happen is that the governor vetoes this tax increase, and then the legislature overrides his veto, and that's the most likely scenario in the next couple of days here, that they're going to pass the permanent tax increase over the governor's veto.
So, in other words, he's going to look like Sir Lancelot. In the meantime, the government gets exactly what it wants, which is nothing more than more of our money for their failure, correct?
That's right, and this time it's permanent. This isn't a temporary tax increase. This is a permanent tax increase. There are no reforms going along with these other than what Mike Madigan might see fit to pass along with this tax increase, but there are no reforms attached to this other than what the Democrats are going to pass. So it's just a tax increase. There's nothing else to it. They might borrow to pay down the backlog of bills, which doesn't seem to solve the debt. I mean, it's just another form of debt. And what I would expect going forward is the higher taxes to cause more people to leave. I would expect the pension debt to continue going up. It's scheduled to go up anyways. And I would expect us to not make really any progress on reducing our debt. Of course, we're not going to reduce our spending because we just taxed so that we could increase our spending. And we're just going to keep going down the same path.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, State Rep. Lou Lang said, "Look, we're getting half a loaf for what we originally wanted. I mean, this is a compromise." That's what he said.
There wasn't a compromise. What you had was mostly Democrat votes, and then a few Republicans who went on their own and voted for the tax increase. The negotiations that were occurring with the Republicans did not yield this deal.
Michael, you got 15 Republicans. So what I want you to come on and tell me today is that the Illinois Policy Institute is going to get 15 candidates from each one of these districts to primary these traitorous Republicans. Is that what's going to happen?
The Illinois Policy Institute doesn't get involved in elections, but I would not be surprised if there's an organization that does exactly what you're describing. But the Illinois Policy Institute doesn't do elections. We don't do direct politics at all.
I believe that I think it was Durkin who, imitating Captain Renault in Casablanca, said that he was absolutely shocked that what they were talking about yesterday, or the proposal that came out from, and it was voted on actually by the Illinois legislature, was nothing like what they were talking about in their so-called compromise talks.
Right, but he was dealing with Speaker Madigan. That's how it always goes. I think
sure.
The Illinois Republican parties should take take a lesson from this situation where if you put taxes on the table as the Illinois Republicans did put taxes on the table, they said they'd be willing to talk about raising taxes. This is where you end up. You end up getting the tax hike, and you get nothing else. That's exactly what Madigan did to them, because as soon as they put the taxes on the table, and the tax discussion's been going on for a long time here, this is where you end up. You get a tax increase, you get nothing else, just like in 2011. Tax increase, nothing else.
Right. The temporary tax increase. I was watching Peter Robinson, I believe, of the Hoover Institute, talking at Dartmouth University to Governor Rauner a couple of weeks ago. And he basically put it this way. He said, really, it looks like the end game, or the long game, if you want to call it that, is that Rauner's got to get reelected. And then he can do what he wants to do, or that will be something of a mandate, or should we just basically do like Brad Thor, the author, did and go to Tennessee right now?
Well, having the income tax go up certainly doesn't help the reelection of Governor Rauner, or any Republicans for that matter, because it happened on their watch as well, although certainly the governor's going to veto this. But the danger that this opens up, of course, is that now they're going to start talking about the progressive tax again. Now that the income tax is about 5%, you're going to have the Democrats come out and say, hey, we're going to lower it to 4% for everybody who makes less than $100,000. Then we're going to start jacking it up on everybody else. That's going to be their tax plan. That I wouldn't be surprised if J.B. Pritzker comes out with something like that soon, saying that we're going to lower the income tax for the majority of people, and then we're going to raise it on people above $100,000 or something like that. So this certainly sets up a progressive tax in Illinois. That's not good for Governor Rauner. That's not good for the Republican Party. It's not good for anybody who believes in limited government.
But in the end, it's the middle class still winds up paying. There's this shell game that's played, this illusion that the middle class does not pay, because ultimately it does.
Well, and ultimately what happens is those rates, the progressive tax rates, if you look at every state that does this, those rates come down, those high rates come down, and they hit the middle class. So at the beginning, they say, oh, it's only going to be for richer people or people who make over $100,000. But then they bring the rates down. They start applying those rates to lower and lower incomes over time. So they do hit the higher incomes harder as a percentage of income, but then they bring those rates down and they hit everybody harder. That's what's happening in Illinois. So we have the highest property taxes in the country. Chicago and Cook area has the highest sales tax in the country. We just raised the income tax much, much higher, and they're going to be looking to do more taxing in the future. It's either we do taxes, which they're doing right now, or we actually reform the government. And so far, we haven't gotten those reforms to government.
Well, there's no appetite for that. As we know, government's going to just keep growing because it likes the power it has through its own failure. But my question for you is, how much money do you have? I know you focus a lot on the money a little bit. And how much money do you think we're going to spend between that Lou Costello impersonator and Bruce Rauner running for governor this year? I mean, I want to know how much money the SEIU union, the personal billionaires that they are going to spend, all in the name to save the people of Illinois, the worst-run state in the country.
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes north of $300 million, but I think that what you're saying in the last couple of comments here is a very good point, which is the people are not going to be happy with this. They're not really going to be happy with anyone. So the politicians certainly are okay with raising taxes. Both parties did some tax hikes here. They're going to be okay with raising taxes in the future. I think the people are totally sick of it, though. We've seen it online. We've seen it all over. I'm sure you guys see it with your call-in. The people are sick of this. The problem is nobody's actually speaking to them. If someone will carry the message to them to say this ends, change this legislature and this ends, we're cutting spending, we're cutting your taxes, we're rolling back all of these mistakes, I think that message would really resonate. That's the message that the governor ran on in 2014. That's the message that everybody should take up going forward, because that's what the people all across Illinois want. This has been pulled very well. They're sick of the taxes. They're leaving here, and they're just done. They're done with the political corruption here. They don't want to give another cent to this Springfield government here. So I think that message would carry, and that's the message that everybody who actually believes in limited government should take. They should take the fight to the other side, and they should take the fight to this crony deal where they're raising taxes on all of us again, and they're not fixing anything.
Michael Lucci, thanks for joining us, and happy Independence Day to you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Happy Independence Day to you all.
Michael Lucci of the Illinois Policy Institute.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Now would have been a great time for me to have paid for the Liberty Real Estate Services commercial. Anyway, today, partly sunny, high 80. Tonight, mainly clear, low 62. Tomorrow, a mirror image. Then Wednesday, it's Bruce's golf day. It's going to be rainy and miserable. He'll have all the excuses in the world. Now let's go to my guy, Dom Fortini, will tell us where to avoid.
Lake Barrington, probably a good place to avoid. We've got a crash at Half Day in Harbor. Also, a malfunctioning railroad crossing out in the Barrington area along Route 59, a little bit north of Lake Cook Road, and in Hazel Crest out in the South Burbs. Watch for a crash at 167th and Wood. Eden still quiet. Kennedy rolls at 20 minutes, so here to downtown. 10 in from the junction, 8 in the inbound express. Delay free on the outbound Ike. 29 minutes from the post office to Thorndale. Looking good on the inbound Stevenson this morning. Total of 34 minutes from 3:55 into the drive. 15 minutes in both directions of the Ryan between 95th and downtown. I-57 Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive. It looks like crews cleared that earlier car fire off the tri-state because things are in decent shape. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Napa know-how. Buckets are good. Good at storing, carrying, and hauling all kinds of stuff. But the Napa bucket for $3.99 does more good than that. Like getting you 20% off 3 or more items that fit inside. And donating $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. So do our soldiers and yourself some good. And save 20% with the Napa bucket. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Exclusions apply. Offer expires 7/31/17.
When you're hiring for a growing business, you don't need lots of candidates. You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com. With an algorithm that positions your job post where quality candidates are and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
All right, I know you're bombarded with MyPillow ads everywhere you turn, not only from me, but on TV, billboards, and in print. But the reason is simple. It's the best pillow available. You deserve a restful and relaxing summer. And the July radio deal using my name, Amy, in the promo code is the best deal available. It's the 50% discount on a MyPillow 4-pack, including 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows for half the price. You can move the fill to give you the exact support you need regardless of sleep position. You'll sleep deep and won't wake up to a stiff neck or headache. And our good friend Mike Lindell manufactures them in America using only American labor. You can wash and dry them. They're hypoallergenic. And you get a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Coming up at 5 tonight, Trump is at war with the media, and it's a good thing. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson, Independence Day extravaganza in for Dan and Amy. I got a tweet from Scott Bertram, who works at Hillsdale College.
Oh, wow.
You know, the college that everybody should aspire to go to. And he says, Michigan lawmaker just told me officials working as we speak to lure business from Illinois after tax hike vote. Now, I know anecdotes are not data, but I think this is illustrative of the kind of thing that we should not be surprised to see.
It's time to give him the Michael Corleone. My offer to you is this: nothing. And everybody just shut down and cripple him. Because that's the other thing we can do. You don't have to leave. Lock the doors of the business. Nobody makes anything till we straighten it out.
Then we're going to starve too. The alternative, I think, would be to move to Tennessee. You know, I'd mentioned the Chicago Bears, but I could sing the song, Bear Down, Tennessee Titans. Make every play clear the way to victory. Bear down, Tennessee Titans. Put up a fight with a might so fearlessly. It works for me. I could be a Tennessee
you're
Titans
the only
fan.
one. Listen, I saw
Brad Thor moved.
It's South Florida for me, baby. I sell
Yeah.
real estate on both coasts, and I'm going to tell you something. It's amazing. I sold a property on Marco Island on the canal with access to the Gulf in 5 minutes. $1.2 million sale price. Guess what the property taxes were?
Let's see. I know what Marvin Gardens is. I don't know what it is down there.
4-bedroom, 3-car garage, access, canal right behind you. Guess. Just guess. Say it.
$2,500.
$5,200.
That's pretty good.
I have a shanty in Elmwood Park. They wanted me to pay double. A shanty. Are you out of your minds? And why? Because Grady Preckwinkle and the boys, they got to spend all of our money.
Speaking of Preckwinkle, I know this is a few days old, but it's still relevant. That soda pop tax. Which I believe, had Illinois not been able to pay its bills, and it's still not going to be able to pay its bills, but I think it'll get Powerball back. But had it not been able to have Powerball anymore, or the lottery, then poor people wouldn't have been able to buy the lottery tickets and would have money to pay the soda pop tax, which they are exempt from, which is interesting, of course, because supposedly the tax is there to deter them from buying soda pop because they're obese.
So, I mean,
go figure.
How many times, we could argue this on 15 different levels. First of all, you're going to social engineer behavior through syntax.
It doesn't even work.
Of sugar.
It doesn't work.
Right? How about when you get the glass and you fill it up with ice and you put your pop in there? Now you're paying a sugar tax on ice. Forget about the fact that it covers LaCroix. I mean, these are morons trying to regulate us. And have you seen the Cook County Board of Commissioners? Clowns, failures, frauds, one and all. And, we have our own. I have my own, the old mayor of Elmwood Park, right, with the welcome mat on his head. He's my Cook County commissioner. Now, this guy's going to save me. First of all, they all know how they're going to vote on everything. They're all on the phone with each other. They make sure these things that they want to pass.
Wait, are they violating the Illinois Open Meetings Act?
It's all just sickening.
It's like when I used to cover Highwood years and years ago for the Lerner newspapers, and when they didn't want you to understand what they were talking about, they'd start speaking in Italian. You're supposed to conduct the meetings in English.
Sick to pretend that these guys are fighting for us. And here's another thing. If your first decision in the morning when you get up is to stick double-sided tape on your forehead, you don't make decisions for me.
What's your favorite Independence Day song? Are you a Stars and Stripes Forever guy? Does John Philip Sousa just give you the goosebumps?
This is an annoying day as much as I love it, because not only because how many 4th of July parties are financed with food stamps and yet you're my patriot, but they misuse the flag. It's this false sense of patriotism to promote a socialism of a Republican agenda. I find it despicable.
I am so old school that I don't even like people wearing shirts that have the flag depicted on it, because in the old days, I remember when Abby Hoffman appeared on the Merv Griffin show. And, yeah, I'm dating myself right here. He had a shirt on that had a red, white, and blue tie or whatever, and it looked like the flag. And they actually pixelated it out because it was an obscene image for somebody to be wearing that. But now, we do that kind of thing.
Well, you can
it's
remember
supposedly
when
patriotic.
You remember when Abe Vigoda had hair. You're that old.
It's that old.
But, I have one flag in my cigar store, one only, and it says it's the American flag, and it says "Don't tread on me," and it has the snake. That's the flag.
And
I
it's
fly.
drenched in cigar smoke, which is what America is all
It's
about.
all about, baby. At least for now.
All right. Coming up, we're going to take your calls at 312-642-5600, the turnkey.pro answer line.
I got a customer on line 1. Hang on. Don't hang.
Yeah, maybe there's a free cigar in it for you. All coming up on AM 560, The Answer.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing during the decline in the U.S. economy, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-461-8930. $800-461-8937. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-461-8937 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-461-8937 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-461-8937.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
AM 560, The Answer.
American! Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson. Sean wanted to read the Declaration of Independence on the air together. The problem is there's all those S's that look like F's, and I can't get through them.
I wanted to show how much of what King George did our government's doing to us right now, and here we are pretending they're helping us.
We have taxation with representation by kleptocrats.
I love it.
In the Illinois legislature. All right, coming up after the news, we'll be taking your calls at 312-642-5600, the turnkey.pro answer line. Get it off your chest here on the day before Independence Day. Stars and Stripes forever. Hi, my Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Let's go to the man with
let's
the
go
answers.
to Mike Scott.
Bruce and Sean, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 69 degrees, clouds and sunshine in our Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles. Home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Trump administration says the president talked about the importance of regional unity in major phone calls with Gulf states leaders over the weekend. The White House stressing the president went over his concerns about the continuing dispute between Qatar and some of its Gulf and Arab neighbors. President speaking yesterday with the King of Saudi Arabia and the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and the Emir of Qatar. China's president says his nation and Russia are both opposing a U.S. anti-missile system in South Korea. President Xi Jinping said he left for Russia today after speaking with the U.S. that the system poses a grave threat to Chinese interests. Man police say is a French nationalist is accused of plotting to kill that country's president on Bastille Day. Police arrested the 23-year-old Frenchman late last week. They talked about that plot over the weekend to kill Emmanuel Macron on July 14, when Macron and President Trump are scheduled to oversee the annual Bastille Day parade. An investigation continues following a plane crash over the weekend in Price County, Wisconsin, that killed 6, including 2 from a Bensonville elementary school district. They were headed toward a fishing trip in Canada. Chicago police dealing with another violent wave of weekend violence. 49 shot across the city. 4 victims have died. Illinois lawmakers say they're going back to work after a vote in the House Sunday to increase your income taxes by 32%. Republican Governor Bruce Rauner is already promising a veto of that budget legislation. The commuter rail line that links northern Indiana and Chicago is changing its weekday departure times for trains leaving the Millennium Park station. The change will take effect this week for the South Shore line. It's meant to make trains run a little more efficiently, and the changes mean that eastbound trains will leave Millennium Station at around 5:24, 5:30, and 5:45. 5:10 train is knocked out, while the 5:58 departing train will leave unchanged. The train that departs Millennium Station at 8:45 moves to later in the evening till 9:10. Also, that 5:10 train that normally stops at the museum campus in Hyde Park, that will go directly to Hegewisch with no stops. Cubs 6-2 winners over the Reds. White Sox over the Rangers 6-5. Danielle Kang, the LPGA championship win at Olympia Fields Country Club. The news, a service of Burger King Lucky Charms Shake. The new Lucky Charms Shake at Burger King with the flavors of Lucky Charms cereal, magical marshmallow pieces, and oat cereal mixed into vanilla soft serve and sweet syrup. Try the Burger King restaurant Fruit Loop Shake, too, for a limited time. Participation varies. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher just wants health care done.
How about Republicans suck it up, be unified, sit down at the table, and get it done? So why don't you do the right thing? And the right thing is to deliver to the American people what the American people voted for. Period. End of sentence. Full stop. Do what you said you were going to do.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Do you know your bank's fraud tolerance? I'm Ann Dollagall, Treasury Management Executive. At Signature Bank, we have zero tolerance. While some of the big banks may write off smaller incidences of fraud, we use a multi-layered approach to fight fraud before it happens to our customers. There's been a record number of businesses hit with payments fraud this year. Keeping your business assets safe is our top priority. We are trained, and we will train you to recognize potential wire fraud threats and business email compromise scams. Call us today to find out how Signature Bank can work with your business to fight fraud.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
8:35 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. In for Jim this week. Start with Dominic Fortini.
Still a crash in Hazelcrest, 167th and Wood. And in Barrington, we've got malfunctioning railroad crossing gates along Route 59, a little bit north of Lake Cook. Edens remains pretty quiet this morning, as does the inbound Kennedy, 20 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 10 from Montrose, 8 in the inbound Express. Outbound delay free at 20 minutes, downtown out to O'Hare. Eisenhower looking good, 29 minutes from Thorndale in. Inbound Stevenson, though, we've got a crash taking out the left lane just around Cass. That'll back things up to Lamont. The minor delay adds up to 40 minutes from 355 into the drive, 24 in from the Tri-State. Ryan still looks good, 15 minutes in between 95th and downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive, and our Illinois tollways all looking good this morning. Next traffic update in about 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Partly sunny and 80 today, clear and 62 overnight. 71 officially at O'Hare. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson and their July 4th preview extravaganza. Continuing next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Our phone number is 312-642-5600, the turnkey.pro answer line.
I told you that would catch on. Did you hear Mike Scott?
Well, oh, yeah, right. No,
Independence Day extravaganza.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can you recite the preamble of the Constitution?
Sure,
It's like your civics test. You can actually do it. Don't Google it.
I'm not Googling it.
Okay.
I'm getting Twittered. Listen,
okay.
I am so excited.
I get lost
because
after, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, and of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth. It's kind of a mashup.
Yeah, why
of,
not? I'll go.
various
If it
things.
gets you through law school, go with it. But listen, this is how I really pay the bills. This isn't calling in the radio station.
Okay.
It's not free fill-ins. You know how I really pay the bills? I sell real estate.
Yes, you do.
And the problem with being a fiduciary is it's hard to sell real
watch
estate
your
in a
language
state
here.
like Illinois.
Okay. Let's talk, on that score, let's talk to Lucy from the south suburbs. Hi, Lucy.
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Independence Day.
You too.
Hey, so much to say, so little time. Listen, I really can't understand why anybody wants to stay in Illinois. Sean, I'll be calling you because I am looking online right now for real estate in Florida. Truthfully, I will.
No, I believe you. Liberty Real Estate Services. Yeah.
You got anything in the Okefenokee?
We can find you something.
All over, even the Everglades. If anybody thinks for 1 minute that when they pass this tax increase in Springfield, that's not going to open the gates for all the local taxes, like the schools, fire, police, everything, everybody's short of money. So this just gives them a free, just an open ticket to start raising everybody else's taxes.
But Governor Pritzker, and what do you call him again?
Lou Costello. He's the evil child of Lou Costello.
He's going to sell
Hackett.
this as a progressive tax. They're going to make it so that the middle class doesn't have to pay as much, and it's going to seem like a bargain.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
And you know why?
Go to the school districts, go to your local tax assessor, and see what the taxing bodies are doing. Most of the school districts are all just drowning in debt. And every time you turn around, they have to sell bonds to pay bills, and then they keep spending more and more money. Then it goes to the state, and it just snowballs. So here's my question: what happens when an owner overworks his donkey? His donkey either bites him, collapse, or dies. What stage are we in right now?
I'll tell you, the Democratic donkey keeps perpetuating itself in the state of Illinois, Lucy. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Bruce in Bloomingdale. Hello, Bruce.
All right. I wanted to chime in. I like chiming in. You're ruining everything.
Go ahead. No, wait, hold on, Bruce. Sean has something to say here.
Listen, the part of why you should leave is the only way that socialism corrects itself is what you're seeing in Venezuela. It must go through its natural progression because the Keynesian economics, the people who support that, the Democrats and now Republicans, only have but one way to learn, and that's when they're completely out of other places to seize it. Really,
yes.
It's the only way to learn.
Bruce, hello.
Two things. When toilet paper has become a luxury good, you have achieved perfect socialism.
He's right.
Number two,
Don't say number two after you've said toilet paper, but go ahead, Bruce.
The second thing is I find it difficult to feel sorry for people who believe politicians when they said, if you give us a little bit of your money now, we'll give you much, much more later on. And a significant portion of these people teach mathematics.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Bruce. We appreciate the call.
I do feel sorry for those of us who are ruled by this mobocracy. And I do feel sorry for those of us who believe these 15 Republicans.
We get what we deserve.
No, I disagree with you. These 15 Republicans, people elected them believing they'd stand up for them.
Don from Bloomingdale. Hello, Don.
Morning, guys. Listen, Sean, at what point do people realize that when people leave the state, it's less desirable for people to come in? And when is our property taxes, our property values actually going to start plummeting when people will finally wake up?
As long as you can pretend you got a guy in a corrupt system, as long as you can hire corrupt politicians who are lawyers and pretend to represent you and offer you a saving grace of your taxation, I think you're going to stall the exodus, and that's what you're seeing happening. So now you have people that have to stay, right? I don't know about you, Don, but my wife doesn't want to leave her parents. Her parents are elderly. She doesn't want to leave her sister and her brothers. So we're trapped here for love and affection.
We got the beautiful lakeshore here.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
They take advantage of you and your family and your work and your love of your family and people, and they use it against you. And you know what? You got this fat slob Pritzker, why he wants a progressive tax? It's not just because he can't figure out how to get out of those 5219s he calls trousers. It's because he's never earned a living. He's never made a living. He hit the loin lottery because his mother knew who to fill on her dance card. That's it. So he has it out for you if you want to be better than what you are today. He's going to take your money, and it gets people to support it because 50% of us are on the nipple itself.
Don, thank you for your call. The loin lottery.
I don't know if I can say
I like
nipple and loin.
I like loin lottery. It's
that's all he
something.
did.
Try Tom Brokaw.
He's an
saying
expert
that.
on what? Without his father, he'd be working a Hertz kiosk in Biloxi, Mississippi. That's all he's good at.
Larry from Robbins. Hi, Larry.
Hey, good morning. Hey, Isn't there a way that the state can crack down on? I live in Oak Lawn, and I know these kids do not go. You see 1,000 cars in front of these grade schools with these kids that don't even belong in the neighborhood. They're using fictitious addresses to go to these school districts, and in return, my property tax has gone up about $3,000 in the last 5 years.
And then they become members of the Jackie Robinson West baseball team. So,
Imagine
that's a good thing. Thank you, Larry.
Imagine if parents had to pay for the school that their kids went to. Imagine if they had the choice to send them where they wanted to go. Imagine if we had what I was promised in the Declaration of Independence in the Constitution. Imagine if I was treated as sovereign and not the underwriter of failure, misappropriation, and somebody else's problems.
You have just written new lyrics to the John Lennon classic.
Oh.
And I love that. We should play it.
I'm not paying royalties to Yoko. She ruined everything anyway.
In lieu of, after every terrorist attack, people gather, they bring teddy bears and flowers at the corner, and then everybody sings Imagine, and the whole problem goes away. But with your lyrics,
I like it.
I think you've got a good idea.
See if that young kid in the mauve blouse he's got on today can separate it.
So, just turning the corner right here, I keep looking up at actually, I'm
look,
looking
they
up
got
at
Steve Bannon on.
Actually, CNN has changed its headline. It's all been about Trump's tweets. They even had a tree.
Why don't you read the rest of it?
Well, they had a headline earlier that said President Trump attacked CNN literally. No, he didn't attack them literally. He attacked them metaphorically, albeit sophomorically, with that wrestling gif. But anyway, right now they have report Steve Bannon pushing tax hike on the rich.
Right.
The real story behind that apparently is that he floated that idea. Supposedly the White House has moved on from that. But yeah, Bannon had talked about, he wanted a number 4.
In McDonald's.
To have, really wanted it to be 40% because that would look good. It would look like a nice populist
So think
move.
about this: a Goldman Sachs guy, right? Who looks like he's in a perpetual hangover. This fraud who's made his money, he's done making money. Now he wants to tax people. You see, that's what people don't understand. Our tax system is set up to keep people poor, to keep you a servant to government, to penalize you if you're not born to one of these oligarch families. That's what a progressive tax, and I say it's unconstitutional. It is completely unconstitutional.
Well, you could say that, and you can fight that while you're in jail. Saying that the income tax is unconstitutional.
Because I'm good at something, I'm penalized? How am I equal before the law?
What Pritzker, Lou Costello, as you pointed out, is going to do is turn Illinois into Portlandia. I mean, only the rich and the poor will be able to live there. The rich and the poor have always worked together in a symbiotic relationship back to ancient Rome. And you squeeze out the middle class, and nobody will be able to afford to live here because in the aggregate, we've got one of the highest tax rates in the United States when you combine the property taxes with the income tax and other taxes and your soda pop tax and all that. And the problem is that the property tax freeze, when it was even discussed, is illusory.
And we got 4 more years of looking at his wife. Have you seen her? One more facelift. Her eyebrow's going to be a sideburn. The poor thing thinks orgasm is next to Transylvania.
We'll talk to you, the callers, at 312-642-5600, post haste. But first, we must have Sean Thompson, who was dressed in a very nice Cheryl Scott wraparound dress this morning to give us the weather right here on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Today, partly sunny with some clouds. They seem to go hand in hand. High of 80 tonight. Mainly clear, low 62. Tomorrow, a mirror image. It's Wednesday that when you don't wash your car Tuesday, because Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms. Now we're going to go to Dom Fortini, a guy who I love, a handsome devil. I saw him in the lobby. Dom, take it away.
Inbound side of the Stevenson this morning, we've got a crash blocking off the left lane just in front of Cass. Emergency crews on the scene. That's created a bit of a minor delay back through Lemont. 40 minutes from 355 into the drive, 24 in from the Tri-State. Meanwhile, the rest of our roadways still looking pretty decently. Uptick in traffic volume, but things still moving along. Edens and Kennedy quiet. Kennedy in at 20 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 10 in from the junction, 8 in the inbound express. Eisenhower, 29 minutes from Thorndale in. On the outbound Stevenson, 34 minutes from Lakeshore out to 355. A quick tap of the brakes on the inbound Ryan right near Roosevelt. But you had 18 minutes, 95th into downtown, 15 on the outbound trip. I-57, Bishop Ford, Lakeshore Drive, and our Illinois tollways, including 53 and 355, as well as Chicago Skyway, rolling incident-free. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Are you behind in your mortgage, facing foreclosure, being given the runaround on a loan modification application by some bank or servicer? Well, you're not alone, but I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've put together a team to help distressed homeowners like you. Give us a call. We give everyone who's eligible a free consultation. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
When I heard of Balance of Nature, and I said, because I had prayed, Lord, how am I going to get all this food into me that's so good to me? That's when I called. Now I know that I get my fruits and my vegetables into me, and I don't have to work so hard. I know that I am getting the proper things into my body. I do believe that if I didn't have this already in my body, my Balance of Nature, it wouldn't have gone so good for me. But because my body was healthy, that's what kept me going.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson. Sean came up with his own lyrics to Imagine. It was, all don't
Mine
tread
are
on
better,
me stuff.
And I'm not a communist.
Yeah. McCartney really was the genius behind that group. It's all revisionist history right now. He was much better than Lennon.
And I loved him when he did the other group. What did he do, Wings?
I don't know much about him. He was your favorite wing, said Homer Simpson.
I like
it. Let's go to Kurt from Park Ridge. Hi, Kurt.
Hey, guys. Hey, you know what? You guys mentioned that CNN spoofed the Trump where he tackled CNN. I love that. He's telling the media, I will beat you on the high road. I will beat you on the low road. I will win.
Man, oh man, I could hear the tambourine in the back, Kurt.
But Kurt, he's encouraging violence against, Greta Van Susteren or whoever is working for CNN these days. I don't know. Jake Tapper.
Are you just happy that a 70-year-old and a girdle can still make those moves? Is that what you like? Because something tells me you're a little round. You're a little chubby.
I do like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I am a chubby guy.
See? No
like
kidding.
That.
I could hear the hamburger.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Appreciate the call and happy Independence Day. Yeah, I don't think it was presidential, but like some people were saying that even Frank Underwood. Do you watch that show?
No.
House of Cards. You don't watch it?
No, I don't.
So this reference is going to be lost on you, but I want to say it anyway. Even Frank Underwood wouldn't do that kind of thing. Look, if Frank Underwood wanted to push Mika Brzezinski onto the subway tracks in New York City, for example, the subway train would be up track like about 2 miles and stalled because de Blasio can't make the trains run on time.
I told you who Trump. He's just the rich kid at this first party who gets drunk and sucker punches the bartender. That's it.
Right. Rich from Niles. Hi, Rich.
Yeah, what I'm calling about, you keep talking about John Cullerton. John Cullerton has been in there. P.J. Cullerton was in there, and his grandfather was in there. So we got all these Cullertons. How are you going to get rid of these people? How are you going to get rid of Mike Madigan?
Come on, Rich. You read the novels, the Gambino crime family. It's all the same thing. They hand themselves down.
Okay,
when there's nobody left in the state, Rich, when we've all moved to Tennessee,
and you know what?
They'll be governing nobody. Thanks very much for your call.
The unions make sure they're still in there. Yeah. That's all.
Well,
let's audit the SEIU. You want to see how much of their money they give to these scoundrels? No, you don't.
I know you're not
that.
a big Rauner fan, but he does have a couple of court cases going where he's trying to do an end run on the unions. Let's go to Candace from DuPage. Hi, Candace.
Good morning, you guys. I just got back from Tennessee. Actually, I had a family reunion down there. It's amazing to see young women pregnant. It's like you never see it in the North. But anyway, the con I went to, I got into House of Cards.
Yeah.
And that show, it is eerie how closely the Democrats are trying to play just like House of Cards, Trump. You know, with the whole, special counsel, and even if you can't pass the law, you're going to just repeat it.
Well, wait a minute.
Repeat it till people believe it. Anybody who hasn't watched that show, get it on Netflix and start watching it. It's just eerie how they're trying
It's
to
kind of
play
gotten a little boring in the 5th season. Do you watch The Americans, too? That got boring in the 5th season.
We live The Americans.
Yeah,
it did, didn't it? What should I watch now, Candace? Should I wait for Game of Thrones to come back?
Watch Escobar, Pablo Escobar. You can see how the CIA took over the drug running routes. It's great.
Are you a Game of Thrones? Are you a Game of Thrones fan, Candace?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch it again.
What are you talking about? I don't want to give it away to some people who haven't followed it, but I mean, you couldn't have asked for a greater climax to last season, could you?
There's a lot of great shows on Amazon Prime now.
Oh, okay.
That are really good character, plots.
All of a sudden, we're the home shopping network. Listen,
Candace, thank you, and happy Independence Day. Appreciate
it. If we're going
to
plug anything, let's plug John Cass making Greek ribs on YouTube. First of all, he's got a problem, though. He uses those hands, which are that of a 7'2" Flintstone character. So he's measuring with hands, which means that we have to use our shoes, and he expects us to get the ribs right. So I'm going to John Cass's house tomorrow. I'm just going to drive around and smell for the ribs.
And will you bring me some leftovers?
Sure.
Yeah. I miss John. Worked with him. Back
you want to know
the world's largest store.
Him and Kristen McQuarrie, that's the only newspaper I read. The rest of it's for cleaning glass in my cigar store. It's unreadable.
You don't like an Eric Zorn column?
Maybe. I don't know.
The New Sun Times, of course, with Edwin Eisendrath, when he takes over, it's going to represent the 99% against the Tribune's 1%. Like when they go after Joe Barrios, that's not helping
when
the 99%.
When you're so chintzy, you got to shrink the paper. I stop reading it. Get out of here with that.
All right. That almost wraps it up. We'll say goodbye, give our farewell address, una memento.
I'm going to miss you.
AM 560. I miss you already. AM 560, The Answer.
This is The Morning Show. More Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
A good parking lot is essential to a good building and a good business.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great. We are an industry leader in seal coating. You can trust our company to do the work for your company. We have the same traditional values as you. We use a process and application that makes sure you get a great job that lasts a long time. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Go to our website, greatparkinglots.com. Check it out, greatparkinglots.com.
Go to greatparkinglots.com. Schedule a free inspection and get a quote to make your parking lot a great parking lot. Save the expense. Fix, don't replace. Contact SKC Construction now for commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com. On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas. Online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
All right, I have to admit it was an eyesore. The chipping and paint peeling on our front and back porch, it looked awful. But thanks to CertaPro painters, the porch looks brand new. The painters who showed up were professional, respectful. They were done in just a few hours, and when they left, the house looked brand new. They really are the best in the business, and it's not too late to book your exterior painting project. There are several spots open on CertaPro's summer schedule. Here's an idea. Let CertaPro painters transform your home while you're on vacation and return to a freshly painted house. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, and so we invite you to experience the CertaPro difference. For a free estimate, call 1-800-GO-CERTA, C-E-R-T-A, or visit CertaPro.com, that's Certa with the C. Get that painting project off your to-do list. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson with our farewell address. We're leaving the state of Illinois. Are we going to move to Tennessee next?
I'm taking
I
you
think
with
we could
me.
live like in Brad Thor's basement.
No, you don't understand how many Chicagoans are on the west coast of South Florida. I'm taking you with me. You'll be big again, baby. Your Cavaricci jacket, you'll be right in style there. White shoes, it's going to be wonderful. We didn't read any of the Declaration of Independence.
Go ahead,
when
give
any
us,
form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter it or abolish it and institute a new government.
Are you calling for an insurrection
That's
right
what
now?
I want.
Just
yes,
because
I
you're
am.
supposed to pay your fair share of Illinois taxes?
Please, if I can get Oberweis out of the way on the expressway, I'll drive down to Springfield.
Thanks for being here today. It was a great day.
I miss you
already. It's been
already.
July 3rd. I miss you too. Let's go to Mike Scott.
Bruce and Sean here. The stories we're following right